What in the hell do you think you're doing?
Hey, John Boy.
I'm telling you straight, it's my way or the highway. So anybody wants to walk, do it now.
Hey, everybody, we're all gonna get laid.
Kick is up, and it is long enough, and it is good. Adam Vinatieri, at age 45, drills one from 57 yards out.
Was kept alive by Oladipo, and Sabonis with a left hand.
John, I have never been better to be on the air with you here in Indianapolis, a place where so many of my dreams have come true.
The Ride with JMV, FM 107.5 and 1070 The Fan.
Hey, what's up? Everybody ready for a little bit of Friday fun here? A little enjoyment? I mean, really, there's just, there's a lot of yelling and screaming and things like that going on. And, you know, hopefully for a little 3+ hours, we can work in some of your enjoyment. Hopefully so, as we move along right here and talk about sports. I did have to laugh, and I did this right as I logged in here with Kyle, and I saw where Melvin Gordon's now with the Broncos, of course, right, via free agency, said the Chargers home prepped him for no fans. That makes me laugh. That's just a little headline right there that makes me laugh. It's just great. Also saw this on ESPN, ranking NFL quarterback commitment in 2020. How married are 32 teams to their starters? You look at this at ESPN.com. I'm sorry. For right now, and this may not be for the foreseeable future, and this article is about for the foreseeable future, but for as it is right now, yeah, $25 million for a 38-year-old is pretty damn married. But you go down the list here and you don't find the Colts until way last. That's why if you look at this situation, I mean, on the surface financially, it's not a bad deal whatsoever. Like, yeah, they're ranked 25th. $25 million 1 year. Now, here's what they write. Contracts don't get much simpler with this one. The Colts signed Rivers to help them with this upcoming Super Bowl. There is no commitment beyond that for him or them. Now, again, as we've explained it to you right, and then nationally they may not know that, but as we've explained it to you right, and I mean right here, yeah, there's hope that there is a commitment longer than 1 year here. That's what they're banking on. You know, a reason to have him around for more than 1 year. Indianapolis also has Jacoby Brissett under contract for this year at $13 million, but he's a free agent next offseason too. The Colts aren't married to anyone. The only quarterback currently on the books for 2021, rookie 4th-round selection, Jacob Eason. So there you go. How married are the Colts? But I'm going to say this. I mean, something like this, when you just read it for face value, can be deceiving. Because if you're not from around here, and if you don't listen to the show every day, as we've talked about for the past 3 months, then you may not know. But we all know the Colts' intentions with this. I mean, it is to advance to what they believe is the furthest point of the postseason that a different quarterback, or in this case, the higher-level quarterback, according to what they believe, can get them. It is funny how we always double back to, well, we don't want this to be all about the quarterback, but once again, you find yourself even 25th on this ESPN.com list as a team that is incredibly reliant on a quarterback, one that has not played in this uniform before, and one that did have struggles a year ago, and one that is 38. So regardless of the 25th ranking, there is a hell of a lot banking on this situation at quarterback, not just for this year and $25 million, but for next year as well. Because if you don't have that next year, then you got to go diving into domain to try to find somebody for the foreseeable future to be the quarterback of this team. You don't have any answers. I mean, at the very least, for 2021, you're going to want some answers. You're going to hope for some answers. That's exactly what they're doing. But you guys turned me on to that particular article, and that's how we start off the show today with some sweet-ass information just for you. We got a busy show for you. Bob Lovell, bottom of the hour. Mike Wells of ESPN.com is going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour. It's hashtag AskPat, 5 o'clock. Going to give somebody the opportunity tomorrow. We'll talk about that, too, for the Big Green Egg with me. I'll explain a little bit later. And unlike last week, where we simply ran out of time for anything goes. I thought I was going to do like a segment or two, and then we got to it and didn't have time to do it. Do we know yet how much time we have? We normally find out halfway through the show, right? How much time we have for anything goes? Because we haven't done it in a couple of weeks, and I know there are a lot of you out there that are just chomping at the bit to get going on this and to vent. So we'll see how much time we have for anything goes. Yeah, I know. If I wanted to, I could make it a daily occurrence. I could make it a daily segment. But I don't want to lean on that like apparently the NBA, at least what Brian Windhorst said, wants to lean on Zion Williamson being a part of whatever they do coming up here. I mean, I understand why they would want it, I guess. But I don't think once it gets back, is it really going to matter? Holy crap, you're just going to see some basketball. Hallelujah. I mean, we can talk about all this other stuff and how it matters and how it draws you back or brings you back some other time, but once basketball is finally here, I mean, aren't we all just going to thank everybody? Just be thankful for a moment, or are we all just going to piss and moan about how, well, this guy's not in it, that guy's not in it, I don't like the way this is going. Who knows? I may be the one pissing and moaning about the direction that this thing is going. Yeah, I've said 8-8 in each conference. They may end up going 16. They may end up going the top 16 and not match the Pacers up with the Nuggets, which I wouldn't like. They may end up going the top 16 and then having a bottom-dwelling type of round-robin tournament to see and hope and pray that they can get Zion Williamson in that top 8 and be a part of a postseason. Who knows? But that's the way that Brian Windhorst explained it a little bit earlier today on ESPN. I understand if you're saying, well, can we get a little bit more? Because this is, incredible circumstances. This is not your average postseason. So how about giving us a little more? And you hear Damian Lillard talking about, hey, if we're not in the postseason or we don't have a chance at the postseason, I'm not playing. I'm just telling you this. When the basketballs start bouncing again, I'm in. I am in. And we got 11 minutes and 40 seconds. For anything goes. Wait a minute. No, we don't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do. 11 minutes and 40 seconds for anything goes. Hell, last week I got to it and I go, we don't have time for anything goes. I talked about it the entire time. But no, what I'm banking on is what I think a lot of you are going with right now. Ultimately, we're just going to be glad that it's back. Now, you got Adam Silver, the commissioner, and the board of governors and the NBA meeting. We'll probably find something. I guess we'll hear something concrete next week, but I'm sure Adrian Wojnarowski will have it about 1 minute and 30 seconds before Shams has it at some point this weekend, and we'll learn what we need to know. That's what I'm just guessing. But, I mean, is it Zion Williamson matter to NBA fans that much? God, I don't care who's bouncing it. Just bounce it. Bounce it, play, little competition. That's what I talked about on Tuesday. The thing about the golf, I'm not the biggest golf dude in the world. I like it. But, man, it was just sweet on Sunday to watch the match and see these guys compete. And they did compete. And I thought at the time it helped being out of the element for the two quarterbacks in that situation. I mean, obviously they played in front of more fans and more eyeballs in their lifetime. But, they weren't lining up under center in the 9th hole tee box when they were in front of all those other eyeballs. This was completely out of the ordinary. Just a strange situation. At the weather coming out, you got all that playing a role, and I love the way that those guys competed. Not as if that I would think that there would be anything less, but I love the way that they competed. I just want a little competition back here. I want a little competition to watch. I can't wait when I can have a little bit of... Man, it is hotter than hell in this room. Is it just me? Wow. No wonder I like it hot. No wonder I hate this weekend coming up. You guys are all going to love it. It's going to feel like Oregon. All right. It's going to feel like nice and cool. Big sky country is going to feel like Montana. Well, not the mountains. But anyway, to me, getting the back, getting the competition is going to be enough. I don't think you need to draw up any, I called it shenanigans. It's not shenanigans, but I don't think you need any, any special things. You got 65 games in for most teams. All right, that kind of tells you exactly about those teams. And I know in the past 3 months, circumstances have changed. Guys with injuries are ready to return. In the case of Utah, they lost a dude that was injured that essentially was going to try to play through it, I guess, and then no longer could, and they pulled the plug on former Pacer Bojan Bogdanovic. But for me, I think the competition is going to be enough. I don't need to see anything special out of it. I don't need to see a round robin. I don't need to see everybody involved in an NCAA tournament type of setting. I just want to see these guys get back and have some competitive fire because I need to see it. I can't wait till we can actually get out and do it ourselves. Hell, I'm 50 years old. I love that. I need a little bit in my life. We haven't had it in a long time. Hell, I'm watching all these competitions. I know the outcome. I will say this. I was watching a little competition last night. One of the best games ever for me. The Reds and the Pirates, the 1990 NLCS, game number 6 was a thing of beauty. I still will say this. That is one of my all-time favorite Reds games. Obviously because the Reds that season went wire to wire. The Reds beat the Pirates in game 6, moved on to the World Series, and then swept the A's right out of it 4 consecutive. But, man, the Reds, it's been unrecognizable for me for a while, is everything that year, everything in that postseason that the Reds did went right, seemingly. The only thing that really didn't get right was the fact that Eric Davis didn't get a flight back after lacerating a kidney diving for a ball in game number 1 of the World Series. Or whatever game that was of the World Series. I can't remember. Was it game 1? When he did that, whatever game that it was. Maybe it was, I think it was out in Oakland, so maybe it was later on. That's the only thing that didn't, go right. Everything else went right. I'm watching that Pirates game last night with the Reds, and it is a thing of beauty. You could have your starters. You could have Danny Jackson go all the way to the 7th and then bring in Charlton, or go to the 6th and bring in Charlton, and then bring in either Dibble or Myers, no matter what you're looking at, and you can feel comfortable. And whatever Lou Piniella did, everything was working. Paul O'Neill had 8 hits in the series. Later in the game, tight spot, pinch hit Luis Quiones other way for what turned out to be the game winner. Glenn Braggs goes into right field and plays. They have the outfielders playing deep. Carmelo Martinez goes oppo, and what would have been a home run, Braggs takes it back. We've talked to him about that before. This is awesome. That's a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. But again, as much as it makes me feel good to watch it, it still happened back in 1990. So looking for that competitive flavor is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to be satisfied. I'm going to be satisfied just to see it. And I will tell you right now that I'm on the verge of feeling as if I need a little bit more other than just the whole motorsports aspect. So I did. Last night I watched that NASCAR race from Charlotte, but it's still not the same. I'm glad live action is back, but it's still not the same. And I'm sure I'll watch next week when IndyCar's in Texas. It's not the same. When they get the actual stick and ball out there, I think a lot of us will. I think a lot of us in this case will probably recalibrate and be next level happy, shall we say, as far as that is concerned. Hey, speaking of that Game 6, Eric Davis, which is absolutely incredible to think about. Eric Davis's birthday is today. He's been on the show before. He's one of my favorite all-time players, one of my favorite all-time Reds, with one of the best and probably most imitated batting stance, bat being held, and don't you forget about when he's playing center field and he slaps that glove on his thigh. I know all you guys are doing that back in the day. Everybody was doing it. Everybody did that with the slap on the thigh before he caught it. Everybody was doing the Bonds thing when he snatched it out of the air. You guys are all doing it. Bonds, by the way, is unrecognizable in that series. I mean, he's got a sweet-looking porno mustache. Looks like he weighs about 100 pounds less. But, yeah, Eric Davis is 58 years of age today. 58. That is one of my all-time favorite players right there, everybody. Easily one of the all-time favorite players. 58. And, I think that was Fox Sports Ohio last night that showed that Game 6 from the NLCS. I mean, listen, the Reds, they have some great time. They are few and far between, right? I mean, you got 75 and 76. I think they're going to show 78 in the Tom Seaver no-hitter. Memorable for me because Dan Dreesen got the last out against the Cardinals in that game. But it's kind of been few and far between. That's why our baseball folks have to get on the same page and give us some baseball back. Because this is going to be, finally, for me, for us all, for us Schlep Rock Reds fans, a little bit of resurgency. Finally, it's time to get up off the mat. It's time to go out and win a division. I mean, we've been waiting for it with hopes like this for a season for how long now? Since the when was the last season? They 12 or 13 when the Reds were any good? Has it been that long? Was it 12? Was it 12 when they won those first two games in San Francisco and then lost 3 straight in Cincinnati? There was nothing, by the way, more Schlep Rock. No wonder Cincinnati fans are like that. I mean, there's nothing. You will be driven to Schlep Rockism easily if your team does that to you. That was the, Cueto injury game, I think. He got injured. It goes back a long way. We've been waiting for a long time. So, yeah, that's why I think we got to see everybody get on the same page, hopefully. And then, and they will. To me, they will. I know it's easy for me to sit here and say, but there's just no way. You can't leave everybody hanging like this now. You just can't. We talked to Tucker Barnhart yesterday, which was a really good conversation. And if you want to hear it from the player's point of view, some of you do. I realize some of you may not. But if you want to hear the insight and the actual stuff that is going on, you got to go back to that interview yesterday, and you will hear it from Tucker. I mean, he tells you exactly what's going on. Now, again, rightly so, because he's the Reds union rep, the player rep. I mean, it's going to be pro player, but that's just who he represents right now. But he can still give you the information that is necessary. If you missed any of it, 1075thefan.com from yesterday. Oh, yeah. Eric Davis, everybody. Eric Davis. All right, hey, JMV, today is Jared Shaw's birthday. He needs a happy birthday shout-out stat. I love your favorite anything goes caller. That's outstanding right there. You got to call in here later for us. Glenn and I agree with you. Nasty Boys for life. Man, that was just so great. You didn't have to worry about anything. And what was great about the Nasty Boys, they were as badass. It wasn't like it was just made up, you know? We've had Norm Charlton on here before. I think Norm Charlton runs a charter fishing group out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And we tracked him down a couple of years ago. I mean, these guys were as hardcore as they represented on the field. There was nothing made up, nothing phony, no shtick that you get from everybody nowadays or many nowadays. I mean, really across the board. I mean, boy, a lot of what you see and what you hear, not necessarily just with athletes, but with so many people is just so phony baloney. How do you not vomit upon watching it or listening to it? How do you not do that? But they were legit. They were hardcore. Charlton, Dibble, Randall Kirk. Those are some fun times back in the day right there. Eric Davis is 58. One of my favorites of all time. See, Tucker doesn't like those old school uniforms either, right? With the, is it polyester? Not polyester, is it? Or is it? Polyester with the no belt loops. It's just got buttons. Like what we used to wear back in the day, like bike shorts. Anybody have the shorts bike? Anybody ever play softball in bike shorts? And the pockets on it? Just kind of pull them up. I don't think Tucker dug on those very much. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address, I should say. JMV, I'm concerned about Victor Oladipo's return after this quarantine. He'll lose precious time with his teammates, plus will lose time to get his body in game-time shape. Everyone says nothing compares to actual minutes. I think it's going to hurt him worse than peers. Well, listen, I've explained it this way, and I know that there is a heavy concern about it, but you got to think everybody else is going to be starting from the ground floor just like he's going to. To me, I would think it'd be a lot different if everybody else was having game time play right now, then all of a sudden you have to thrust him in. I don't think you know. I don't think you know the response that you're going to get from Vic any more than you know the response that you're going to get from a team that was by far looking like the best team in this season, the Milwaukee Bucks. You just don't know. And I've said this all along. This is what brings, to me, the ultimate level of intrigue. I mean, beyond anything else, that supersedes the fact that there is no fans, no crowd, that they're all going to be playing in the same spot. I mean, just the unusual fashion in which they're trying and will get games back on the floor coming up in July. To me, the incredible unknown, that's the selling point for me. You know, after the fact that they're back and I just want to watch it. But you just don't know. You don't know. So, I mean, is it going to hurt Oladipo? Oladipo was playing, then had to shut it down. He hadn't worked his way all the way back yet. But now, you know, he's been working out like a madman, so they say, in Orlando. And we'll see what everybody else has been doing. And nobody else has been playing. Nobody else has been having NBA-level games. I mean, this is going to be completely unique. I honestly don't know what you can count on. I don't. I mean, I'd be a fool to sit here and tell you that you can count on the Pacers. I mean, I hope. I'm trying to give you, like, either in the top 8 in each conference or the top 16, what might be the best situation if that's how that ultimately goes down. But, hell, I can't tell you how they're going to look either. I mean, it took them so long to get going with the new faces and the bigs playing at the start of the season. It was some unwatchable basketball in those first 3. There was a lot of it. And the problem that you have with the Pacers is they were arguably playing their best basketball the 2 weeks leading up to the NBA shutdown. So I can't tell you what you're going to get from them either. I don't think anybody knows. That's what, again, is going to make this restart of the season and whatever format they put together for us to watch so incredibly unique. And just outside of the competition being back, just outside of basketball being back in general, that is probably what draws me to it more so than anybody else. And yes, by the way, regarding Eric Davis, I still have it in my garage right now, the 44 Magnum poster. That's back in the day. That's back when you had posters on your wall. You had legit posters. Great posters. And that is one of the greatest of all time. 44 Magnum. Like the Mattingly one is a good one, too, with Hitman. Didn't Lance Parrish of the Tigers, their catcher, have one? Great. I think it was a playoff for Frosted Flakes or something. That was back when posters were legit. Posters on the wall. All right, 239-1070. Email address, JMV at 1070thefan.com. On Twitter, at JMV1070. Bob Lovell, bottom of the hour, is going to join us. Mike Wells of ESPN.com. We got hashtag Ask Pat, Pat Sullivan in studio. Do we know what we're giving away just yet at all? We don't know picture just yet. We'll find out with Pat. Coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, Anything Goes is set for about 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. How you can win a big green egg with me tomorrow night is going to be all by myself tomorrow night, too. How you can do that, we'll tell you all about it coming up. And some other notes. Yeah, I mean, Zion Williamson, that would be great. But to me, just to have the competition back is good enough. I don't think necessarily I have to see him. I think I'd be okay without it. I don't think I want to see this just kind of lean to one way or the other for entertainment purposes. I think we're going to be entertained just for the simple fact that it's back. Am I right or wrong? Sounds like a Connecticut water question of the day. All right, quick break. We'll come back. Bob Lovell, bottom of the hour. Got a lot more for you coming up on this busy Friday. It looks like it's cleared off. Might have to mow tomorrow. I didn't get it done today, man. Too damn wet. Shout out to Sean Ash. He loves these 70-degree days and 49-degree nights. I just don't. But we're going to get swampy again next week, so I feel good about that. Quick break, and we'll come back. Bob Lovell joins us with you at 239-1070. Other side next.
Finally spring has sprung and the weather's getting nice. Hi, Pat Sullivan here. Did you hear about our new place? Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan at 114th and Allisonville Road in Fishers. Our new store and Sullivan Hardware and Garden locations are blooming with perennials, annual containers, shrubs, trees, and much more. With so many colors and varieties, it's the best looking selection you'll find anywhere. Our patio furniture is on display at our Keystone store. Teak, cast aluminum, all-weather wicker, Berlin Garden poly, which is also available at our Allisonville location, perfect for your porch, patio, or garden. We specialize in good quality, mid-price patio furniture that's in stock in our 37,000 square foot warehouse. Pre-season priced at 30% off. You can even order your own custom cushions at no extra charge. Also on display at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, a variety of grills including the Big Green Egg, Weber, and Traeger. Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and now Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
Hey, these are no ordinary times, and Firehouse Subs is no ordinary sub shop. They're neighborhood restaurants, locally owned and operated, and still open. Enjoy your favorite subs from Firehouse no matter where you're at. Order for pickup on their website or app. Call ahead, order carry-out at the restaurant, or get it delivered. Every hot sub is made to order with premium meats and cheeses, box bagged for your convenience, whether you're taking a break from a conference call or getting ready for mealtime. Firehouse Subs is still here for you. Visit firehousesubs.com to order, pickup, or delivery. Carry-out and delivery availability may differ.
Times like these have everyone a bit uneasy, especially when it comes to inviting folks to work on your home or yard. When Rhino Shield goes to work on your home, you not only reap the benefits of our 25-year guarantee and our spring savings, you have a company that follows the state guidelines on social distancing. We keep our employees productive and safe. Rest assured that when our trucks come to your property, we'll work on the outside while you and your family are safe on the inside. Call Rhino Shield today for a virtual presentation, as well as a list of show homes that you and your family can drive by to see our results firsthand. And once you make a decision, we'll call you to set up a time when we can finalize all the details that'll keep you from ever having to paint your home again. Call 888-RHINO-41. 888-RHINO-41. Protect your family now during these very strange times. And Rhino Shield will protect the outside of your home for the next 25 years to come.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from the Bill Estes Ford family in Brownsburg.
I'm General Sales Manager Brian Weddle. Have any summer plans, Rob?
It's a little wait and see right now, Brian. But as the weather gets warmer, I sure am ready to hit the road.
Yeah, I think we're all feeling that way.
Right now, our sparkling showroom is open to help you hit the ground running. Get the right car with the right payment that frees you up. Free of interest. Right now, get 0% financing for 72 months on any new Escape or Fusion, or $5,000 off the price. And we're offering 0% for 84 months on new trucks, or $15,000 off the price.
Free of maintenance. Don't spend time or money on repairs for your old car. We want you to trade it, and we will give you $2,000 more for it.
Free of hassle. Go to BillEstesFord.com to browse or buy vehicles, complete our easy credit application, and we'll deliver your vehicle for free anywhere in Indiana.
Am I part of your summer plans, Rob?
That's a little tentative, Brian. Let's say yes. Buy now and get $15,000 off new trucks and incredible interest-free financing. Your key is waiting at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg and at BillEstesFord.com.
Indiana's upcoming primary election is Tuesday, June 2nd. But if you're a registered voter, you can vote early and in person from May 26th through noon on June 1st. Contact your county clerk's office for locations and voting hours. And remember, a valid photo ID is required for in-person early voting. To learn more about early voting, visit indianavoters.com. Paid for by the Indiana Secretary of State and Indiana Election Division.
It's JMV from the Ride with JMV and the JMV Takeover. I'm taking requests thanks to our friends at Count Me Indy. They asked me to create a playlist for my favorite songs to raise awareness about responding to the 2020 census. I've added songs to say thanks to healthcare workers because responding to the 2020 census helps Indy get federal funding for new health clinics and healthcare programs. At JMV1070 on Twitter to listen to the playlist, and it's not too late to respond at 2020census.gov.
Paid for by Count Me Indy.
Getting a home loan should be a fun experience. At the Home Loan Expert office, we can close your loan in as little as 2 weeks, and you'll skip 2 full months of payments. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
Sports with Dan Dockich.
Danny, please, like Major League Baseball Network.
When I sag for batting practice, I can't get any closer to my neck being against the fence. I'm as far away from the action as you can get.
I play fast pitch softball with a bunch of younger guys, and I play first base, and I tell them all, look, I'm afraid of the ball. If you don't throw it right at my chest, I'm not catching it. I've lost my teeth. I'm done. I can't do it. I'm done. I'm afraid of the ball.
Dan Dockich, weekdays, noon till 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
I got nowhere else to go.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, shout out to our friend Clayton Anderson, who told us yesterday on the show, late in the show, if you missed it, that he has tested positive for COVID-19. And told us the story. And to both he and I think his mother and sister also have tested positive. Nothing but great thoughts. He is a tremendous friend of the show, and we wish Clayton and the family down in Bedford all the best from coming back from that. But he joined the show, talked about that yesterday. Tucker Barnhart was on the show yesterday, too. That was outstanding. That podcast is up there, 1075thefan.com. I mentioned that I love going back in the day when the Reds wore the kind of just button across. Is it polyester that I'm looking for? I have no idea. You don't know what that fabric is? Like polyester is, I think, what our guest coming up here, Bob Lovell, I think wore, what are some of the dances back in the day. But the old school Reds, you know what I'm talking about, where they had the 2 buttons across. There's no belt or anything. I want to see those come back. We don't need the button down. I want to see kind of the V-neck come back with the C on the side. Tucker says, because when I played in them, I felt like my ass was hanging out. And I think your ass was hanging out, to be honest. I think we all saw your ass. That's got to be incredibly comfortable playing. So I am all for that. And Greg and Carmel is absolutely right. That Pirates team in 1990 was legitimately good. So good. Yeah, that Game 6 last night was a fun time. BT writes this, JMV is anything goes a donk-free zone, like the JMV Takeover is a meatloaf-free zone. Yeah, I can't really do anything about anything goes being somebody, something, someone free because, I give everybody the opportunity to get loose on it. So it just depends on whether or not he gets in here. Just last week, I thought we were going to have time, and then ultimately we ended up with no time. Kind of the way that it went. Stephen writes this, I hope it's me. Our youngest child is finishing up his senior year at Fishers High School. Daughter's going to be a senior at Anderson University, getting married in November. Shout out to the Big Green Egg. Hopefully I win that coming up tomorrow. Thank you, Stephen. We'll tell you about how you can get a chance to win that coming up a little bit later on. Hey, JMV, we got to talk about Ryan Grigson becoming a top advisor for the Browns today. I'll talk to you at 3. I'll be completely honest with you. I haven't talked about Ryan Grigson in like 3 years. And nothing against this Ben. I guess what Cleveland did made news, but I haven't cared about Ryan Grigson in 3 years. I mean, it didn't work out. He moved on. We know all the reasons, right? We know the right reasons. I mean, some are, inaccurate in the description. But we know the reasons why. It's no big secret. But yeah, has it been 3 years? It's been 3. I mean, Ballard Hell's been here he's been here for 3 years now. Got to be, when the hell's the last time what, you want me to talk about class basketball too? Pete Rose Hall of Fame. And this is not on you, Ben. I just saw that and I thought, man, I don't know. Some of the old school Do I need to bring up some of the old school go-tos so you don't have to actually prep for a show or something like that? Maybe. Ben in Greenwood's a good dude, though, brother. Keep him coming. I think the best thing about what Cleveland may have learned from last season is to just try to keep your head down and go at it a little bit. I mean, they were anointed, and I remember talking about this. I hope everything went down the normal Cleveland Browns toilet because they had no reason to be anointed for anything. Back to that in a second. Andy Moore, Automotive Group Hotline. He is a friend of this show. He's got a show tonight, tomorrow night, across the state of Indiana. Network Indiana affiliations with the great radio stations in the state. Bob Lovell is with us. Hello, Bob.
Hey, John. I'm just trying to find some polyester to put on for the weekend. Yeah.
Did you wear you wore polyester back in the 70s?
Sure, I mean, yeah. How
did you have a big
not?
collar? Did you wear when you wore a tuxedo? Did you have ruffles and all that?
Bigger the better. Are you kidding me? Had big collar, big bells, big bell bottoms. I mean, the bigger the bell, the better. You know, that stuff. Come on. That was my wife pointed out a picture to me, my first picture of me as a head coach at Franklin College, and her exact words were, because I had the big collar and it was unbuttoned halfway down my chest and all that, and I had the mustache without the beard. And she said, there has never been a worse picture of you in your entire life. Those were her exact words. There's a lot of love there, John.
There is. Bob Lovell's with us. I'm going to be the closer coming up tomorrow night, per usual.
Yes,
tomorrow night on the show. I haven't asked you about this yet, and I know that we have a lot of colleges, coming up with their strategy, their game plan to restarting the school year, and then ultimately how we're going to see it. From what you've seen from the colleges that have that plan, that strategy out there, what have you thought about them?
Well, I think they're not blessed with a wealth of options to begin with. I think they're looking at trying to salvage as much as they can out of it and try to be as safe as they can possibly be. I think what you're going to see, the way it looks now, is that some type of hybrid between in-class, in-person classes, online classes, which I think gives you a reason that you can go ahead and have your student athletes on campus. I think the majority of schools that I've seen, I know I got this email from the IU folks yesterday about what we're planning on doing on campuses, and I think that's where they are. I think right now they're still not sure about what schools are going to allow you to do next week because their campuses are going to be open. I still think that's right now. Schools are trying to allow schools as close to on time as they can and try to bring as many student athletes and the students back to campus as they can and safely take care of them. So, still, this is still fluid. I'm not sure that we'll know until a few more weeks.
So Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talk, comes at you later on tonight and again tomorrow night. We'll talk about what you have prepped for the show on both nights in just a second. I'm kind of curious. We kind of went with Jeff Rabjohns yesterday on how this plan looks at IU and how that's going to affect the home basketball schedule, for example. Now, obviously, if you have a plan like that, all schools are going to have to deal, assuming with a certain amount of time, a lengthy amount of time without the students being around. And when you look at it from IU's standpoint, there's probably going to be, 4 or 5, maybe Big Ten matchups, home dates of games that won't have the normal student backing there, which will be a little odd to deal with for sure.
Yeah, it really will. And, you're talking about a situation where, the IU campuses are going to finish at Thanksgiving, not be back until February, back on campus until February. I think I saw where, that's and I think there are a number of schools trying to follow this same type of schedule. I think Notre Dame is looking at that type of schedule and other campuses. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle home games. I think it'll be very interesting to see how football handles home games with the necessity social distancing. I know they're drawing up plans. They're working on it as much as they possibly can. There's no way you can avoid an economic impact on all of this, which then will trickle down and make this a very interesting situation when we talk about this next spring. So, again, so many questions out there, not a whole lot of answers. I just think that we're beginning to get more confidence that things may get back to a normal schedule. I'm not sure what normal is, but a routine schedule. But this is all contingent, John, upon everyone paying attention to what they do, making sure that they continue to social distance, wear a mask, watch what you do, where you are, stay away from large crowds, close conditions, those kinds of things, because it could all be set back with another outbreak of COVID-19 somewhere around the state.
So, Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talk. Before I let you go, and I'm sure you're going to discuss this, and you have discussed this. In fact, you and I went at it regarding this last Saturday night. Do you like the plan that you have seen so far for the high school levels and then lower the youth sports for their return, either collectively or, as a part of a stage situation, stage by stage over the summer and into the start of the school year? Do you like the way that it looks?
No, absolutely. I think that, some people a whole lot smarter than the two of us have been consulted and brought in on this, and you're trying to do what's right for everyone involved, which is not an easy thing to do. I just think that, again, trying to get kids back on campus, whether it's a high school or a college campus, is important. They need to be back in routine. They need to be learning. They need to be around other people, but not at the expense of the health of others. And I think schools are putting in place best practices that are out there right now on the way to handle this. So no, I think it's great. I hope it all works. I hope it all goes off like we hope it will.
Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talks, got you later on tonight, tomorrow night. Network Indiana, affiliated stations. And I'm sure you'll be talking a little NASCAR about that race last night. You'll bring me on to close it all down Saturday night.
Thank goodness we have you coming out of the bullpen, Wild Thing. I think that's what we ought to cue that music when we bring you in. We'll just, you and what was Charlie Sheen's name in Major League?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
it's Wild Thing. Ricky.
Yeah. So I was thinking that. I was thinking Enter Sandman, like Mariano Rivera had played when he was coming in.
Do that. I mean, you are a Hall of Famer. We could do that. We got that.
Hey, when I'm sick, I can do a really good Lou Brown, by the way, from Major League. Forget about the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater. So, late, great Lou Brown. Hey, you're awesome, buddy. We'll be listening later on tonight and tomorrow night as well, Bob.
All right, thanks.
Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talks on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Forget about the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater. I'm going to get that B on the phone. Lou Brown, man, he's no longer with us. Just what a great character actor. Certainly in Major League. Perfect, absolute perfect portrayal of manager Lou Brown. He was also in, this is weird, it's always on. And I don't know why I watch it, because it is like John Travolta playing some country and Western wannabe cowboy dude is just so beyond stupid. But, I mean, it kind of has me every time with Bud and Sissy and Urban Cowboy. He's an Urban Cowboy, too. He's the manager of Gillies in Pasadena, Texas. Well, they're riding the bull. Sissy. I watch it. I'm sorry, I watch it every time it's on. And it's weird, too, because there's nothing other than some of the absurdity of it. Because I don't think there's any nudity in it or anything, right? I mean, why else would I be drawn? It's kind of absurd. And I think I always kind of wanted to ride that bull, and I just never have. Remember they had it downtown? What the hell was that place called? Cadillac Ranch had one of those down here for a point in time underneath the railroad tracks. I was actually coming in the other day, and I had Laney with me, and I was trying to explain to Laney just how great Union Station was back in the day. Remember how great? Because up until that point in time, really, for everybody, but certainly those younger than 20. There was nothing to do downtown. But when Union Station, and you had a couple of levels, and you had shops like it was a mall, and then you had this huge eating area, dining area. Correct me if I'm wrong. There was an area with an arcade. There was an area with miniature golf, and then there was an area where you could actually get in a go-kart. Just a spectacular idea. I loved Union Station. Loved it. But, man, that's really what started everything, the ball rolling. I remember once upon a time, this had to be 85. There was a Saturday night main event for the WWF being taped at Market Square Arena. I think Hulk Hogan was wrestling. It was either Hogan or Macho Man. I think it was Hogan wrestling adorable Adrian Adonis, which, by the way, that character wouldn't fly for a second today. But they were wrestling, and we went down for a Saturday night main event that was being taped, and we got dropped off in the middle of the afternoon, and there wasn't a damn thing to do. Nothing. Zero. Walk through the city market or go over to the Hyatt Regency and sit in that McDonald's. That was about it. That's about it. I'm pretty sure it was Hogan and adorable Adrian Adonis. I saw them all. JYD was wrestling the Junkyard Dog. Saturday night main event back in the day. Quick break and we'll come back. Bob Lovell, podcast 1075thefan.com. Pat Sullivan, hashtag Ask Pat with all your outdoor questions coming up. Hashtag Ask Pat in the 5 o'clock hour. Mike Wells, top of the hour. We'll talk about a variety of things with Mike regarding the NFL and with the Colts, and anything goes for you. We have approximately 11 minutes and 40 seconds of anything goes coming up for you in the 6 o'clock hour. It is vent time, by God. I think everybody needs a little bit of a vent. Nick Rice writes this: can you fix your camera? Your awesome hair is cut off. Do I need to scooch down in the seat then? You guys do see my glorious Mr. Pibb shirt. You ever had Mr. Pibb over there? Mr. Pibb or Dr. Pepper? Some people would go Mr. Pibb back in the day, but probably not anymore.
Yeah, I'd take Dr. Pepper now.
It was a Coca-Cola bottling company. It was a nice try. It was a better try than Mellow Yellow turned out to be versus Mountain Dew. It was a better try. But it still kind of seemed like, I think you would go Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb, and then Dr. Thunder, right, in that way? Anybody do Dr. Thunder? That's the Walmart brand that's kind of Dr. Pepper, Dr. Thunder. They thought real hard in the marketing department what to come up with name-wise. All right, Dr. Thunder. All right, let's do that. Yeah, Mr. Pibb's probably second right there. Quick break. Back with you next.
Shut in or just hanging out. Nice thing about Kevin Bowen's podcast and the latest sports news is you can listen anytime, anywhere. 1075thefan.com or your inbox for free.
Have you added up the total amount of credit card debt you owe? Don't be afraid to find out, because it can all go away with a phone call to Golden Oak Lending.
Imagine the feeling of freedom when you owe nothing on credit cards. It can happen. This is James Hawkins at Golden Oak Lending. The equity in your home has risen and rates have fallen. That means you can get money to pay off those credit cards.
Call us for a free mortgage checkup today. Our average cash-out customer saves $904 a month. Plus, you'll make no payments for 2 months.
No time to call? Apply online 24/7 at goldenoaklending.com with our secure Zipline mortgage.
Apply from the comfort and safety of your home or call 317-706-GOLD. That's 706-GOLD.
If we can't close your loan, the appraisal is no charge.
NMLS 114937, regulated by the Indiana Department of Financial Institutions.
Hey, this is John here for FanDuel, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, and there's a reason FanDuel is America's #1 sports betting app. All the odds, all the biggest sports, and they make it simple and intuitive to place your bets, and at FanDuel, they believe that beating the spread is, well, hard enough. So, unlike other sports books, FanDuel doesn't make you jump through hoops when you want to withdraw your winnings. If you haven't tried FanDuel Sportsbook yet, then now is your chance because, well, sports are finally starting to slowly trickle back here just a little bit, right? UFC fights, soccer matches, NASCAR, even the NBA and the NHL made that announcement about their return in July. It is all starting to slowly come back. So if you want, or if you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, you can even place your first bet risk-free. So seriously, just place any bet and get up to $500 back if you do not win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code JMV. So they know that I sent you. That is essential here. Remember the FanDuel Sportsbook promo code JMV to get your first bet risk-free. 21 plus, present in Indiana. First real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires after 14 days. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the reopening of our local economy with our most amazing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with no money down on anything and everything. Yes! Now, for a limited time, Diamonds Direct is doing our part to help you get back to normal and celebrate your love like never before. Our prices and values are the best ever. Our showcases are fully stocked, and we're letting you buy now with nothing down, and you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Been putting off that engagement? Get her a $6,000 designer ring now and pay just $100 a month. Did you miss celebrating that anniversary? How about a $3,000 Diamond Eternity band for just $50 a month? Summer is the season for love, and we're doing all we can to make this summer one to remember with exceptional values, extra selection, and the most exceptional finance opportunity. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Keystone at the Crossing.
Guys, prioritizing your health now is more important than ever. It all starts with an annual wellness exam at Low T Center, where they do a comprehensive health assessment to get all your numbers checked, including a COVID-19 antibody test. And now when you get your annual wellness exam, you can add the antibody test for $60. This simple blood test is FDA authorized and 99.9% accurate. Go to lowtcenter.com to learn more and book your annual wellness exam with the COVID-19 antibody test. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Indiana Army National Guard. Aired by the Indiana Broadcasters Association and this station.
Updating PPP. From the WIBC Newsroom, I'm Chris Davis with your coronavirus update. Senator Todd Young pushing a new bill to help small businesses affected by coronavirus. Kurt Darling reports.
It's called the Restart Act, essentially an extension of the Paycheck Protection Program.
And everyone seemingly has done their part. We in Congress need to continue to do our part.
Young speaking at the Children's Museum of Terre Haute Thursday. It's a bipartisan plan allowing businesses more time to apply for loans to stay afloat and gives them easier requirements to achieve in order to have those loans forgiven.
You probably haven't met any candidates for Tuesday's primary election in person. State Republican Party Chair Kyle Hupfer says the coronavirus is to blame for that.
They're not able to go out and knock on doors, talk to them, go to small events. In-person fundraising was almost non-existent.
He says after the primary, candidates will begin making public appearances again. You've got another update coming up from the WIBC Newsroom. I'm Chris Davis.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me on Monday. I'm going to be talking to AJ Foyt. If you need a race fix, who better? Who better than to talk to than AJ Foyt? Tucker Barnhart as well. Join me noon to 3.
The Ride with JMV. 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Kyle's over there. I'm John. Thank you for joining us. JMV, I love Urban Cowboy. Hashtag Sissy get in the truck. Sissy. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, Sissy would have been gone. I would have done the other dude. What was her name? Pam? I'd have gone Pam. I was Pam. I was Team Pam all the way. I wasn't on board with Sissy. I don't think they liked one another either. I think, like Deborah Winger said, that Travolta had bad breath or something. Hashtag JMV Takeover. How about a Mellow Yellow Zero? Mellow Yellow Zero. Guys dig on Dr. Thunder. JMV, only thing Mellow Yellow was good for was Cole Trickle's car sponsor in Days of Thunder. That was a 1979. Mellow Yellow was released, and Coke was trying to play up, obviously, to that of the Pepsi product known as Mountain Dew, and didn't quite make it. Here and there, yes, but didn't quite make it. Sonny's at 239-1070. Go ahead, Sonny. How are you, bro?
Hey, what's up, brother? How are you doing?
I'm great. Go ahead.
Hey, I just called to reminisce with you about this is the only second time I've called you. The other time, big ups to your weekend show on the 80s. That's the other time I talked to you.
Coming back at you again tomorrow night, too, man. Coming back at you.
I'm going to be listening to you, brother. You're doing a good job.
Thank you.
But I was calling to reminisce with you about, I heard you talk about the old sports bar downtown, and yes, there was a golf course and a race kart course in the old Union Station. It was a big blast. And the old sports bar is where I met Bill Davis. And I knew he was a cool guy, a cool man, because I met him when I was lit that night. And I called him out, and he walked over to me, and we had a conversation and became pretty cool after that. And so that was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, now that sports bar was the one with the boxing ring in it, right? That one? Yeah.
Yeah, one of them had upstairs and one of them had a boxing, yeah.
Right. Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was a good time to play ball together, and saw Burns hit 8 threes to win a game by himself. So I was just calling to reminisce with you.
Yeah, that's
brother.
okay, man. Listen, that was kind of the start. That was the start of the downtown that we became in love with, no doubt, back then, because prior to that, there wasn't squat to do down here.
No. Do you remember Gators, the 4 bars that sit
Oh,
atop
yeah,
the
yeah.
center?
It's called World Mardi Gras back in the day. They had Gators and then
World Mardi Gras,
Gators and
old school club,
brewskis, and then flashbacks.
And flashbacks. Yeah, good times there, man.
I love that too, Sonny.
That's
Thank
when
you.
the Pacers was balling. Hey,
be listening tomorrow night, Sonny.
I
Appreciate
will, man.
you. Like
Have
it.
a good weekend. Be safe.
Yeah, Gators. World Mardi Gras. I saw Matt Geiger dancing in Gators one time. Remember Matt Geiger? Well, Georgia Tech center, but 7 feet tall. I think at the time he was playing for the Charlotte Hornets. Matt Geiger. Matt Geiger dancing. It was a thrill. Big time thrill. Really. Mike Wells, other side, ESPN.com. A variety of things, including the fact that Pat Sullivan wants to put us together and do a barbecue pitmasters type of beef brisket smoke-off. And I'm down with that program. Hopefully everybody else is too. Quick one, we'll come back. We got time for you as well. Pat Sullivan, 5 o'clock hour. Anything goes. We have approximately 11 minutes and 40 seconds for that coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. Back with you next.
Pro football might be off in the future, but that's why they meet Futures Betting. I'm Mike Wells, and I want you to know that team futures are now available at BetRivers.com. Will your team make the playoffs, and what's the over-under on total wins? Philadelphia's over-under is 9.5 wins. Whoa. Do you have the over-under on that? Place your bets today at BetRivers.com and lock down your futures bet today. Have fun, and please bet within your limits. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
Hey, John here for my friends at PAI. We grow hair Indy.com. Yeah, we just had Nick saying, hey, we got to see on YouTube Live, we got to see your great hair. I mean, I'll try to bend down a little bit here, but I haven't had a haircut in a long time. It's going crazy. In fact, Kyle and I were just discussing when I should get this haircut, and I'm just going to say I think the hell with it, and I'm just going to let this bad boy grow. My wife says I look like Steve Bannon, which got me a little irritated, but I think I look good. And I know I look good, and I know I feel good because PRP works for us, fellas. It does. It regenerates your hair growth. there's no magic, there's no witchcraft or anything like that. No, it's real deal. It's your real growing hair. Again, nothing fake about it. No glue, no duct tape, just a real growing hair with PAI. Let Darren Andrews explain to you exactly what the process entails, and then you decide for yourself. Above all else, you have options. Options in hair regrowth with PAI. It's WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
He's Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. One of the owners, Beth Rovazini, says B&W is proud to have their very own training center on premises in Speedway.
To help new techs that are just graduating from high school, and then also to refresh older techs, and just to look at products too, because we really think it's important that we find the best product for that customer.
Put B&W's expert technicians to work for you at 243-3581. B&W is your trusted local independent American Standard dealer.
Puccini's 707 locations. Puccini's Pizza Pasta.com. Puccini's 707 locations. Puccini's Pizza Pasta.com.
Founded right here in Indianapolis in 1991 and winner of the World Pizza Championships in Parma, Italy.
Puccini's 707 locations. Puccini's Pizza Pasta.com.
We're all facing challenging times. With so much uncertainty, the team at Bill Estes Chevrolet is here for you. The service department is offering a disinfecting service for your vehicles. If you're looking to trade in your ride and purchase something new, get no payments for 120 days plus 0% interest for 84 months. Visit BillEstesChevy.com and purchase your new vehicle from your couch. Their online tools make it easy to value your trade and apply for financing. Visit BillEstesChevy.com. The team thanks you for your confidence.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis. The Colts face the Kansas City Chiefs in a classic from last October. Sunday at 1 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Bullish Brand's hanging and banging with you until the 8 o'clock hour. Coming up, we have artists such as Living Color and the Fine Young Cannibals right now. Here's Roxette, The Look, 89.9 WROL.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Mike Wells on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan is brought to you by Bet Rivers.
Mike Wells of ESPN.com on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We'll let this thing sit with him just for a moment. The Slow Jamboree entry on this Friday goes late 80s for Mike. We'll see if he can identify it right now.
Hello. Oh, hey. I know it's my girl, Jody Watley. I just can't think of the name of the song, though.
It was the follow-up single to her hit Friends with Eric B. and Rakim. It's called Everything.
Yes.
You are my everything. Yes.
Hey, by the way, Jay, I'm going to tell you now, man. Your tweet last weekend, you got Jody Watley to tweet you.
She was singing to me, man.
Hey, she was serenading to you, and it's one of those things where she could have easily she could have easily not even mentioned your name, but she mentioned your name too. She personalized.
She did
that tweet for you, brother.
Hey, if that was 18-year-old me, I'd still be aroused a week later.
Oh my goodness! And man, you'd have changed your tidy whities about 15 times too.
I'm telling you, back then it was always Jody Watley or Karen White for me. Either one. Those were the two for me back in the day.
And I was just listening to some Karen White, some Superwoman like 2 days ago in the car, man. I said it was on Sirius XM. I was like, oh my God, Karen. Brought me back to 1988, 89 when I was living in Germany at the time.
Yeah, Jody Watley just had that. She just had that look. You know what I mean? Just had a great look.
Hey,
Still
so
does.
You can handle a little gap in the teeth, man.
Yeah, I'll be all right with it, man. I think that was her thing back then. So, but yeah, I mean, she sent me that. I didn't even realize it until Sunday morning because some dude in France had tweeted at me in French, and hell, I don't know what he said. So, what the hell's this? And then I found out that she had sent that out, and that was awesome. I mean, it was really awesome. Listen, that thing has done so well between that and then LL Cool J getting back to me and then tweeting something out to his 5.1 million followers. It's been a damn fine run, man.
Hey, so let me ask, so how did Jody, did you tweet at Jody Watley first?
What I was doing, I was playing Friends, and I just had a minute, and I leaned back, and I said, hey, we're playing Friends right now at Jody Watley. Would you care to sing along? So she had sent back a video singing along to her.
Oh, man. Hey, that's one of those tweets you pin, you save, and don't use.
It was pretty outstanding. I mean, it was. And I tell you what, that's been fun as hell. I mean, we've gone through all this crap, and it's been few and far between on fun and enjoyment. And that Saturday night thing has added a great deal. And I hear from everybody they like it, and I enjoy it more than they do.
So I know tomorrow's the last Saturday. Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna be doing this every Saturday? Are you like in the rotation? How's this work?
I don't know. I think there's been some talk about me. Like, I'm not scheduled for next Saturday as of right now. I just kind of left it up to if everybody wants me to, and they're cool with it down the hall, I will. And I know that there's some advertisers that want to do it too, and I certainly will do that because I don't think we're not going to have much, if anything, besides IndyCar and NASCAR and golf return coming up here in June. So I think I could do Saturday nights in June and be okay with it, to be honest. So I haven't talked to anybody about it, but I know that I have some advertisers that want to be a part of it now. And frankly, I mean, I saw Sam's tweet out earlier that the NBA, they kind of ideally want to start July the 31st. I mean, hell, I could probably push it past July the 4th if I wanted to as well and consider that. I mean, obviously when all this does start, I'm going to have to quit for a while, but I can do Saturday nights up until the point when the other job kind of takes precedence. So
no, hey, keep rolling with it, man. If it's not broke, don't try to fix it until they shut you down, until the wheels fall off, man.
Yeah, and it's been great. I mean, it trends number one every Saturday night for a number of hours. It did last week too, and it's been enjoyable for me because it's just a new layer of people that I can communicate with. And I love the fact that a lot of people from this show have been drawn to that on a Saturday. And then Mark is going to give away a Big Green Egg with Pat Sullivan coming up tomorrow night. So we're going to give that away on the show and maybe have something. If I start in June, we may fire up a new giveaway. But I know Big Green Egg and Mark and Pat Sullivan of Sullivan Hardware and Garden, we're going to give that away tomorrow night.
How are you guys dictating in the winter? What is the contest?
I have a number of people have sent at JMV Takeover pictures and videos of things, what they're doing, how they're listening on a Saturday, and I have put them all together, and I'm just going to have somebody randomly pick somebody tomorrow night. So,
so is that basically like back in the day, in your younger days, when you would randomly have beer goggles at 2 a.m. when things were shutting down, and you would just randomly decide who the lucky lady was going to be?
Oh man, yeah, that's like coyote time right there. You get up in the morning, gnaw your arm off. Is that what you're talking about those days?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my standards. Let's talk about my standards for a moment back in the day, I guess. But no, seriously, it's a good time. It's a good time, and people have been participating, and that's I have a great deal of thank you that I need to hand out to everybody for being a part of it because they've made it a hell of a lot more fun.
No, that's good, man. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I tell you now, you said you're bringing in different audiences during these days and times. it's great to kind of have a mixture of everybody, bro.
Yeah, it's almost got me thinking that, I need to offer something like this on a Saturday night, like online or something. I just, because I could do this, I could do this easily from anywhere. And that's because, I think that there's certainly a passion for it. And it may get old and tired and maybe people will fade from it, but right now there's certainly a passion for it. So it's got me thinking, if nothing else.
Like to hear that. I like to hear that, man. So I'm sure people are like, can y'all stop? Can y'all ask to stop talking about music and JMV and Tidy Whiteys and talk about some other stuff?
I did want to ask you this, and I brought up Shams in that tweet about the 31st of July is when a lot of the GMs ideally want the NBA to return. I want to ask you about how they should return. As somebody that used to cover the sport on an hour-by-hour basis, should it be the top 8 in each conference? Should it be top 16? Should they include everybody? How do you think that the NBA should go about their return?
You know what? Before I would have said, hey, everybody come back. But, just seeing what Damian Lillard said about, what's the point of playing if you're not if they're not going to the playoffs? I would have a season. I would say the regular season is done. Roll in. Let's get the top 8 in each conference, or just make it a 16 team pool and go 1-16 to 15 on down the line and do it that way. But you got to give plenty of time, enough time for training camp, and then just roll from there.
Yeah, that's the 31st. I will say this: the 31st being the target date. It seems like that it's late. You know what I mean? I thought maybe mid-July would be much more of a target date. And again, I don't know all the situations that they might be dealing with right now, but I thought a little bit earlier in the month would have been a better target than waiting until the 31st, at least on the surface.
Well, listen, July 4th or July 5th would have been a good date. That ideally would have been a date for me.
Yeah.
That gives you 5-6 weeks or whatever to get things rolling, and then go from there. But the issue with if they just go with 16 teams start the playoffs, you're looking at team and the NBA season. Probably won't start to December. After that, if that, then you're looking at some teams being out of action, players not playing between March and December.
Yeah, that is a long time. You think about Bogdanovich, who's going to be, 33 next year, and he was shut down by the Jazz, and that dude won't relace him back up. And you're thinking about a Utah team like that went for it this year too. They all the chips were on the table for the Utah Jazz this year, so that's probably not going so well for them right now.
Well, yeah, the chips were on the table for them, but we didn't know how that relationship between Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert was going to be after. Supposedly them two having a rift following what happened in Oklahoma City in March.
Yeah, man, Gobert. That is all the starting point for everything we're in right now. That guy touching on the mics, being a jackass, and then testing positive. That didn't help anything at all.
No, not at all, man. Listen, here's the other thing too, man. You think about it. You're hearing all these reports about how NFL facilities are going to start opening up too, man. Maybe things are going on the up and up for. All sports.
Yeah,
that'd be a good sign if that's the case.
And I've said that all along, too. Everybody says, well, obviously you just want to do it because you want sports to be back. And while I do want sports back, my whole thought the entire time has been once we take those steps and we go through those stages and we're able to get back, I'm just to assume that at that point, that means it's good for everybody, not just sports fans in general, Mike.
Well, yeah, exactly. Come on, Jay. How some people are, man. Like you said, Rudy Gobert's a jackass. There's a lot, there's some fans who are jackasses who think we're selfish and just want sports back. No, my rule of thumb is if it's safe to resume, let it resume. If it's not safe, we're just going to sit tight, and you and I are going to continue BSing on Friday afternoons.
Yeah,
we'll roll with the punches and whatever's thrown our way. We're not trying to get back out there any sooner to get back to being able to talk and write about sports all the time.
There's no doubt about that. Mike Wells of ESPN.com joins us. I was also talking about this a little bit earlier, too. So ESPN, I'm sure you saw this, had an article out about how much invested teams have in the quarterback position. And the Colts are way down in the 20s, around 25, according to what they have written here. And although they're with their quarterback, it's not a long-term deal. They've got everything, including reputation, riding on Rivers being more than just a one-year guy here. I mean, everything riding on it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, they don't need Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers cannot be vanilla ice, one-hit wonder. He's got to be able to come in and lead this team, because if he falls flat on his face, we're going to be sitting here this time next year on, May 28th or 29th or whatever that Friday is going to be, discussing is the next guy the quarterback of the future for the Colts? Is it going to be, whoever they select in the draft, whatever they do in free agency? So while the overall roster is better, in my opinion, everything is going to hinge on Phillip Rivers' ability to throw the football down the field when they're not pounding the ball with Marlon Mack and Jonathan Taylor. He's got to be effective. And when I say effective, that doesn't mean, one good play for every two bad plays. He's got to be consistent throughout the entire 2020 season.
And if he's not, and he's not the answer for more than just this coming year, then they don't have any answers. They don't have an answer on the roster, and then you're back out to trying to search for somebody that's a short-term Band-Aid.
Yeah, and that means Chris Ballard and Frank Wright will have a lot of questions to be answering, and not only from the media and from the fan base, but also from owner Jim Irsay. I can't see Irsay remaining patient, because then you're potentially looking at missing the playoffs. Third time in 4 years under Chris Ballard?
Yeah, well, there's no doubt, and you can't get around that, and you can't get around the fact that with a lot of quarterbacks being available in the open market, if it doesn't go well, seemingly if it doesn't here, hypothetically, you've chosen the wrong one, and then your connection with that quarterback in the past will have not worked out. I mean, that opens up a myriad of negative questions to be asked if it doesn't work out. And I've said all along, that's why it absolutely has to work out here. And everybody says, well, look at the way they built the team. It's not all about the quarterback. So much of it still is about the quarterback, because had it not been, they wouldn't have gone out and paid $25 million for a 38-year-old man. They wouldn't have.
Listen, anytime people say it's not all about the quarterback, I'm going to sit here and say, go back to the Super Bowl. San Francisco's defense the entire 2019 season was one of the best in the NFL. But when it was time for the quarterback to have to step up, Jimmy Garoppolo was in the fetal position. He was in a fetal position, not making necessary plays for the 49ers to be able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So while it may not always be about the quarterback, at some point your quarterback's got to be able to grow a pair of onions and make plays.
And no doubt about that. Mike Wells of ESPN.com on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You've been a part of all these Zoom news conferences, teleconferences, the back and forth with players, all that's been offered. Is because the Colts do have, at certain positions, they have newness here. Now, you can argue whether or not Phillip Rivers should be categorized as that, because he knew 85% of the playbook when he signed the contract here. I'm curious, how much of a detriment, or how much will that hold this team up by virtue of what they're unable to do like everybody else right now?
It's funny you mentioned that, Jay, because I've got a story running on ESPN.com on Monday about how the Colts have handled their off-season program. And while everything's fine and dandy as far as, keeping the players, locked in and paying attention and learning the playbook and everything, this is a time where the players should be on the field 3 to 4 days a week at the Colts facility, working out, getting more familiar with each other. So you can say everything is fine and dandy, but this is the time where they got to be working out together. This is where the coaching staff is able to, analyze, is there any gems out of the undrafted rookie class that they signed, things like that. So you can only go so far before having to say, all right, this is what we got, and we have to wait until we're allowed back in the facility, or when things get better and players can meet up with Phillip Rivers in Florida or here and start working out together and work on the timing and the continuity even more.
Yes, Mike Wells of ESPN.com on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Many have suggested they are. Would you categorize the Colts as the team to beat in the AFC South to start the season?
I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say the Titans are the team to beat because they got their core players back. But I do believe the Colts should win the AFC South. I can't knock the Titans because they re-signed Tannehill. They gave Derrick Henry that money. They got their core players back, and they were one win away from getting to the Super Bowl. But I do believe the addition of Phillip Rivers should make them a better team, along with DeForest Buckner and some more maturity on the defensive side of the ball.
On paper, do you think the Colts did as good a job as anybody, at least on paper here, before they play a snap? But they've done as good a job in this offseason as anybody, in your opinion, across the board of the NFL? How would you judge that?
Well, I can't. I refuse to give my opinion on that because I look like an ass, giving them all that praise in 2015, saying they're the real deal. They're the best team in the AFC. They're ready to surpass Tom Brady and the Patriots in 2015, and we know how well that turned out. So I'm not touching that yet. I can't touch it because I don't want people reminding me saying, "Oh, you said they are, they had a hell of an offseason and they're the team to beat." I do like what they did, but when you add in the situation of not being around the team, I need them to prove it on the football. I need to see some stuff on the football field before I can anoint them the offseason paper Super Bowl champs.
Hey, so is youth sports, is it firing back up in Brownsburg?
They are. My son's travel soccer team is picking back up in Zionsville next week. Daughter is starting gymnastics again because, thank goodness, I was tired of telling my kids to go to the basement and have to get on Zoom so they can do their work, or tell my son to do some soccer work in the backyard. And I look in the backyard and he's walking around cones with a soccer ball. and he said he did the work. I'm like, come on, man, you'd have been better off just sitting on the couch next to me.
Oh, it's funny. My daughter the other day, I got home and I said, "So, did you go out and shoot your shots today?" Yeah, I was at the neighbor's house. She had her rollerblades on. I said, "Well, wait a minute. Would you take other shoes? What do we do?" No, we shot free throws in our rollerblades. I thought, are you see what happens when I'm not here? What the hell?
Exactly. But here's, what's the thing? Our kids are around the same age. I got an 8 and 10-year-old.
Yeah.
My son's 8. I can't be mad at him because I probably would have been the same way growing up.
Oh, man.
My parents not paying attention to me. Yeah, I'm going to sit here and just coast through it and say I worked hard. I might even grab the water hose and splash some water on my face and make it look like I was sweating, man.
I remember once upon a time I took home some of those ankle weights. Remember those Everlast ankle weights that used to Velcro to your ankles? Yeah, I took them home, and the first thing I did was lay on the couch and fall asleep with them. I didn't even walk around. I just laid on the couch with them. Yeah.
Hey, and then when you hear a family member come, you kind of lift up your leg a little bit. Oh, yep. I got the weight work in right now.
Doing calisthenics. Hey, by the way, too, Mike, Mark and the Big Green Egg and Pat Sullivan are adamant about us doing a kind of barbecue pitmasters smoke-off with beef brisket in mind. Are you still up for that?
I'm still up for it. Matter of fact, I didn't do that. I was going to do the brisket on Memorial Day, man. I was like, I couldn't find a size that I liked because I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on a big one. So instead, I just did some ribs. But, hey, Mark, Pat, just let JMV and I know the dates, and we will gladly take part in it because, it'll be for a good cause, and then that'll allow for some more trash talking between JMV and myself.
Exactly. My wife actually found a great piece of meat at all places, Meyer. A great piece of meat at Meyer, and I went to work on that. It was awesome. True story.
So you did a brisket?
No, I just did a piece of meat. I just did a piece of meat. I'm not probably buying a brisket from there, but just a good piece of meat. Yeah, I'm not. My smoking plate, my heat plate is broken, so I kind of got to piece that thing together when I smoke. I didn't go about smoking this weekend, so I just did drinking. I might have to stop by my spot out here on the west side, Moody's in Avon, and have them trim me up some brisket, man, because. Me, I'd have a brisket like it was me trying to cut my son's hair, man. Be all jacked up lines and everything. Yes. Hey, by the way, a great drink of the summer. I did it over Memorial Day weekend, and I really didn't get hammered or anything like that. It was just a good feeling. Get some Red Bull watermelon flavor and add some vodka and go to work. It's like Red Bull and vodka, but the watermelon flavor, very refreshing for the summertime. And then thank me later for it.
Hey, I got to tell you a funny story. I know you got to go to break, but I have not had Red Bull and vodka since 2002. I was living in Minnesota covering the Twins, and I was covering a series, the Royals and Twins in KC, and it was a Saturday night, had Saturday night game, and then, getaway day, 12 o'clock start. And I had to get to Kauffman Stadium at like 9 in the morning to interview Torrey Hunter. I went out the night before and basically, it was almost time for the sun to come up by the time I got done. I got to the clubhouse, and I thought I was going to Earl so bad. I held it together. It's 95 degrees in KC with humidity. I did not Earl, but I felt like I was just oozing Red Bull and vodka out of my pores. I can't even smell Red Bull anymore. It makes me sick if I smell. Jay.
You know what? I agree. There are some things I would agree with you. When you have a bad drinking experience, sometimes that affects you longer term, just by scent.
Yeah, so listen, I should remember the month in August 2002 is the last time I had Red Bull and vodka. So it's been almost 20 years. If I see somebody pouring it at a bar, my nose starts turning up. It's like you got the bitter beer face, man.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. I have the same thing with Goldschlager.
Man.
I mean, I went that's that's a Southport, south side of Indy, Kyle Knezovich drink of choice right there, Goldschlager. But this go way back. I was in Bloomington. I thought somebody roofied us, but I don't know. I've never had the worst hangover. It's like a 48-hour hangover that I had after a night of Goldschlager, and we drank an entire bottle at a bar. And I did. I didn't come close to puking on Torrey Hunter, but I puked on everything else.
Man, I'm so glad I didn't puke, because it would have been still talked about today. But hey, I had Goldschlager for the first time when I was in college, so mid-'90s. And I remember there was a guy sitting in the corner, man. He was like, man, you drink Goldschlager, you poop out little gold pieces, man.
Yeah. You go fishing around the toilet for those back in the day.
I was like, man, hey, let me go swim through this and see if I can get some money out of this, boy.
Hey, have you ever eaten a worm out of a bottle of tequila?
No, I refuse to. Have you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Listen, man, I'm going to tell you now, if for some odd reason, which, again, we hope Sports World does get back, we have plenty of our dumbass antics that we can talk about on the air, on things we did as dummies.
I was an absolute mess. I mean, I was the chief mess when we all went out. I'd go out. I never went out without a group, but I was always a mess upon the end of the night. But yeah. Oh yeah, the worm. Yeah, it's no big. This is weird. It's no big deal. But I've done it. I just had to do it once. I just didn't know if you'd ever done that or not. I'm not Tequila's all right, but man, tequila that grabs you by the boo boo too.
Yeah,
so.
Hey man, it makes some hair grow on your chest, man. So yeah, leave that alone. Hey brother, have a great weekend. And Mark and Pat, I know our good buddy Mark's definitely listening, and Pat will be on later on. You guys let JMV and I know when you guys want to roll with this contest, and we'll have some fun with it.
You got it, Mike. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
You too, brother. Later.
Mike Wells of ESPN.com is on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Sometimes on Twitter, you get these promoted tweets. And I don't know if it's because I always think that obviously, I talk and say stuff, and then all of a sudden it ends up on my Facebook page, what I was talking about. I don't know if it's because I was talking about 90 Day Fiancé earlier this week or what, but I got Sophia Date, one a Ukrainian wife, is up here right now. And I think that's what that David guy did in 90 Day Fiancé with Lana. What's her name? Lana? Like 7 years online. Do you want a Ukrainian wife? I'm good. Watching that David guy is ridiculous enough, though. If anybody has been forced to watch, or at least says they're forced to watch 90 Day Fiancé. It's bad. That is some bad stuff right there. JMV. It's from John Wood. I had a George Foster poster on my bedroom wall that I purchased at Kings Island back in 1980. I remember the Reds outpost inside the park. That was exactly. I remember the same thing. I remember that, and I remember paying. That's the first time I ever paid $10 for a slice of pizza, I think, right there. 1980. George Foster is one of my all-time favorites, too. Does not get, I don't think, the recognition that is deserved. You know, that dude in 77 hit 52 stinking home runs. Somebody out there like me has got to have the Topps baseball card league leaders, right? With 77 home runs. George Foster, 52. I loved him, man. It was awesome. All right, quick break, and we'll come back. We'll do some of your calls at 239-1070. If you guys want to go ahead and jump on board here, we'll take it. Pat Sullivan's in studio, top of the hour. That's hashtag Ask Pat for any questions out there regarding Pat Sullivan. We'll take those. And then anything goes. That's coming up in the 6 o'clock hour, around 11 minutes and 40 seconds. If there's anything I haven't touched on so far, we can jump back to that. It seems as if, according to Shams, that the NBA would like to start on July the 31st. Does that seem a tad late to you? Your thoughts on that, how this thing should look, how you want it to look. Will you be entertained, or will you think it's just too damn odd without fans in the format in which it's going to be played? And that and more at 239-1070. Back with you next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Your local Big O Tires is open and ready to serve you. Stop in for up to $150 off Big O brand tires and financing options tailored to you. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Here's what's happening with The Fan.
The Fan, and of course you, our listeners, support local restaurants, so visit 1075thefan.com to check out what places are offering delivery options. Remember to follow The Fan on social media. The Fan's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Like and follow The Fan for updates, giveaways, and all things sports. Finally, The Fan and Pepsi have teamed up to support Indy restaurants with the Pepsi Dan Dockage Deal of the Day. We're bringing you the best local Indy restaurant deals over the next 20 days. For more information, just click on 1075thefan.com.
Hey, John for PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com, 317-522-2995. That number you call, you get to Darren Andrews and let him give you that private consultation. He'll tell you all about the procedures in which will regenerate your hair growth, your real hair growth. Again, nothing fake about it, nothing glued on, nothing stapled. There is nothing at all with adhesive tape. No duct tape. It's your real growing hair again. It does work, and I can show you anytime you want to check it out. But to get a better look-see about what to expect, Darren Andrews will get you that. 317-522-2995. Your real growing hair again with PAI. WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. Everyone's lives have completely changed over the last few months, and we're all adjusting to the new norm. Most folks have lost some income and are adding a lot of new debt. There's never been a better time in history for a cash-out refinance. That's how you come out of the shutdown ready for whatever the future brings. Get pre-approved for your cash-out refinance today with our 5-minute loan approval, only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Times like these have everyone a bit uneasy, especially when it comes to inviting folks to work on your home or yard. When Rhino Shield goes to work on your home, you not only reap the benefits of our 25-year guarantee and our spring savings, you have a company that follows the state guidelines on social distancing. We keep our employees productive and safe. Rest assured that when our trucks come to your property, we'll work on the outside while you and your family are safe on the inside. Call Rhino Shield today for a virtual presentation, as well as a list of show homes that you and your family can drive by to see our results firsthand. And once you make a decision, we'll call you to set up a time when we can finalize all the details that'll keep you from ever having to paint your home again. Call 888-RHINO-41. 888-RHINO-41. Protect your family now during these very strange times. And Rhino Shield will protect the outside of your home for the next 25 years to come.
We're all facing challenging times. With so much uncertainty, the team at Bill Estes Chevrolet is here for you. The service department is offering a disinfecting service for your vehicles. If you're looking to trade in your ride and purchase something new, get no payments for 120 days plus 0% interest for 84 months.
Visit BillEstesChevy.com and purchase your new vehicle from your couch. Their online tools make it easy to value your trade and apply for financing. Visit BillEstesChevy.com. The team thanks you for your confidence.
Place your legal sports bets at BetRivers.com, your new home for sports betting. Millions of betting options a year on the sports you love. We offer live in-game betting on major sporting events worldwide. Tons of bets available during games, from money lines, prop bets, and many more. Use one of our 12 easy deposit methods to get in on the action. And when you win, we offer fast and reliable withdrawals. Sign up now, and we'll match your first deposit up to $250. More bets, better odds, more action. Place your sports bets at BetRivers.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. 1-800-994-8448.
Some NBA play getting back.
Closer and closer, and we think to play certainly in the NBA.
A return strategy.
Why would there be no fans in the stands?
It doesn't matter to me that there are no fans.
They want to keep things close to the vest.
There's no reason to say anything at this point.
If you're talking about it.
Players are starting to get a little itchy.
It matters to a lot of folks.
We're talking about it.
Let us go in and play.
So I got to get serious about this.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Look at all those ding-dongs.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Yeah, we're running a little bit hot tonight. I can barely see the road from the heat coming on.
Hey, welcome back. Kevin O'Connor, who covers the NBA, has sourced this up, and Kyle just sent this out a moment ago. Of course, Adam Silver's meeting with the NBA Board of Governors today. According to his sources, if the NBA resumes play with a 22-team regular season format, teams will likely play 8 games each. Then a play-in tournament would take place for the 8th seed in each conference. Plans aren't finalized yet, but as of now, it appears conferences would stay in place. That, according to Kevin O'Connor. Some Joseph Fenton Faust, JMV. I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one whose wife forces them to watch 90 Day Fiancé. Hey, the worst part about it is I'm totally into it. Here's what I've discovered about myself on this. I am into watching the train wrecks that would be Big Ed and Rose and David and Lana. The other ones, the sisters or the chick that's got the huge, I mean, they're just the incredibly fake rack and the fake lips and all that. And she's crying. Every time they show her, her ass is crying. I can't get into that at all. Not at all. You know, she got the English dude that told her off, and I can't get into that. I can't get into either one of the storylines in Australia. They just bore me. Yeah, no, I know way too much about this. What's the other one that I'm missing here? There's got to be something else, right? Oh, yeah. That hillbilly from Knoxville, Tennessee with his Russian chick. I'm not even into that. So 2 of them, I think, right there. Just 2. That's it. Tyler Fox says, do you like The View? No. Sometimes I'm just sitting there and I know. I'm embarrassed by it myself. You guys have every right to make fun of me with that. Jeff writes this. So, JMV, my senior year of high school, I drank a bottle of Captain Morgan spiced rum, smoked a bunch of Black and Miles, and puked my brains out for hours at a party. I haven't drank an ounce of rum or touched a cigar since. That's nearly 20 years. I haven't had Goldschlager in 25. I haven't had a need. 25 years? I think is what it was. My Goldschlager incident happened the night before the Super Bowl with the Packers and the Patriots, when the Packers and Mike Holmgren and Brett Favre beat Bill Parcells and Drew Bledsoe. So it's been a while. I'll never forget that, man. Hey, shout out to my friend Mike Landis. When asked by Tony Donahue, the best athlete in the state of Indiana all time, said me. Thank you very much. I would agree with you. Jonathan's at 239-1070 next. Hello, Jonathan. How are you?
JMV, how you doing?
Great, Jonathan. Go ahead.
It's a beautiful day. Hey, you were talking about soft drinks. I used to work for RC Cola driving and Pepsi and also 7-Up. But RC Cola, we used to have Upper 10, which was a copy of 7-Up. Do you remember that? Lemon Lime?
Yeah, Upper 10, and then there was also one out there called Team, right?
Oh, yeah, Team, yeah.
Teem, yeah. I thought Team might have been Pepsi back then. I thought Team was the response that Pepsi had to Sprite from Coca-Cola.
Yeah,
Maybe.
You're probably right. That's probably before I worked there, but I remember that. And, you know, they used to promote Dr. Pepper hot. They would, like, warm it up in the wintertime, but it was okay. It would just taste like Dr. Pepper hot. It wasn't exciting. You could try it sometime. But here's the big one I know you know about. When I worked at 7-Up, I learned about Big Red Float, and that stuff is killer with vanilla ice cream, and it get all crystallizes and the pink. It gets all pink and red and candy-ish, whatever.
Let me tell you. Listen, I was a fanatic for Big Red to the point where I blame my kidney stones at the age of 15 and 16 on way too much Big Red consumption back in the day. I drank it all the time. I mean, like it was going out of style. It was my favorite back then, for real.
Did you try it with vanilla ice cream, the Big Red Float?
No, I just threw that down. And I think now people drink. I forget what they put alcoholic beverages in Big Red right now, too. I forget what it's called and what they put in it. But I think they utilize Big Red with alcohol now in some form or fashion. So.
Well, you should try it sometime or have your kids try it with vanilla ice cream. It is really, really good. I knew you were a Big Red fan, so I just want to.
I was. The big glass bottles. Hey, Jonathan, anything else?
No, I'm good, buddy. I enjoy listening to you. You have a great weekend.
Jonathan, you call anytime. Thank you. Yeah, Big Red out of the glass bottles. I had to have 16-ounce glass bottles, though. 16-ounce glass bottles out of the old school lift up. They had 2 in Lehman's General Store in Owensburg, my hometown. 2 coolers. Oh, yeah. Pop that bottle cap off. It would fall in a little container. Remember back in the day when you had the bottle caps, and underneath it you could win? They had games. That soft drink companies would come up with games. We'd go in and just absolutely invade where all these bottle caps would fall and start popping. They had a little dark plastic cover of whether or not you were a winner. Had to peel off every time. JMV, me and Goldslugger haven't been friends since Eric Gordon's year at IU. One night at Nick's after Midnight Madness from Matt. Yeah, Goldslugger, man, did some damage to me. I thought probably not again anytime soon. At JMV, regarding 90 Day Fiancé, don't forget about the chick that's getting catfished by Williams. I forgot about that. I just go, good Lord. Catfished by Williams. That's well done out of you. Litzy writes this. Here's the Lance Parrish poster. It's Lance Parrish, who was back then in the 80s the catcher, the power-hitting catcher for the Detroit Tigers, standing next to a tiger. That thing, if anybody's around Bloomington, this poster was up in the where you could buy shoes in the area of Southern Sporting Goods. Southern Sporting Goods and University Sporting Goods back in the day on the square in Bloomington. This, I believe, was in the Southern Sporting Goods area where you bought shoes. Tiger catcher. They had a lot of those. Back then, Converse came out with a lot of those posters, too. That's a good call by you right there. An even better recall by me with University and Southern Sporting Goods. Hell, that's where I got. You didn't have Dick's back then. That's where I got all my sporting goods. Southern and University right there on the square. JMV, I agree with you regarding the NBA schedule. If these reports are true, the 31st seems like a damn long time. It seems like an extremely long time to me. I mean, a long time. I'm sure that there's a lot going into it, but I thought, like Mike Wells had mentioned, he thought, hey, July 4th fired up, but I thought at least mid-July, right? Around the 15th? And am I the only one that feels like the 31st is a little bit late? Hey, maybe I'm going to be completely wrong about this. Maybe there's not going to be the level of interest that I envision. But I think, to me, I still sit here right now and think people are just going to be drawn to this in droves and incredible television numbers because we haven't had it in a while. maybe I don't see it the same way as others do, and maybe it's not. I don't see there any way that this thing is not going to go over huge. There's got to be something, and I'm sure that there is something we don't know right now as far as the protocol that they're taking or the guidelines that they're writing in. But, man, the 31st seems late. You think the 31st seems late, Kyle?
Yeah, I don't know why they can't come back in middle of July.
That just seems late. I mean, with what Kevin O'Connor said, they want 8 games. See, I know they want to get to that magic regular season mark of 70 so they don't have to give back money to their broadcasters.
And they're going to be running up to that Labor Day weekend when football gets started. They probably want to avoid that.
It seems like that's a little bit late to me. We'll get your thoughts coming up on the other side. Top of the hour, Pat Sullivan in studio. Anything goes in the 6 o'clock hour, too. About 11:40 on the clock for whatever you want to get off your chest, whatever that might be for Anything Goes coming up in the 6 o'clock hour. 93.5, 107.5, and 1070 The Fan. Some NBA play getting back.
Closer and closer, we think, to play, certainly in the NBA.
A return strategy.
Why would there be no fans in the stands?
It doesn't matter to me that there are no fans.
They want to keep things close to the vest.
There's no reason to say anything at this point.
If you're talking about it,
players are starting to get a little itchy.
It matters to a lot of folks.
We're talking about it.
Let us go in and play.
So I got to get serious about this.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, JMV, we're brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Look, a big reason FanDuel is America's #1 sports betting app. They've got all the odds, all the biggest sports, and they make it simple and intuitive to place your bets. And at FanDuel, they believe that, listen, betting the spread, or beating the spread in this case, betting and then beating, it's hard enough. So unlike other sports books, FanDuel doesn't make you jump through hoops to get back your winnings. If you haven't tried FanDuel Sportsbook yet, then now's your chance, because sports finally starting to slowly trickle back. You know that obviously NASCAR's back now. UFC has been back for a while. The NBA looks like it could be coming back in the month of July, and the NHL already has plans as well. So jump on board, and if you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, you can even place your first bet risk-free. So seriously, just place any bet and get up to $500 back if you do not win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with my promo code JMV so they know who sent you. Remember, FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code JMV to get your first bet risk-free. 21 plus, present in Indiana. First real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires after 14 days. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Kids, tell your parents about Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest, where you could win $100 in a Sprout account. Details at 1075thefan.com.
Best service, best products. Do it best.
Hi, Pat Sullivan here of Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Yes, we have thousands of home improvement items in stock, but what separates us are the things you won't find in a typical big box store. A wide selection of annuals and perennials, many grown right here in Indianapolis. A wide array of patio furniture at our Keystone location, our Weber grills, and don't forget the world's best smoker and grill, the Big Green Egg, available at Sullivan Hardware and Garden.
Minimize the work and maximize the fun on your deck. Use SuperDeck Exterior Stain for wood surfaces including decks, fences, siding, and furniture. Available in 63 colors, and one coat application will give years of protection. Now, save $8 per gallon-sized container after rebate on all exterior care products. See store for details. SuperDeck is only available at independent retailers like your neighborhood Do It Best. Visit Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and now Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan and Fishers.
Best service, best products. Do it best.
Hey, it's JMV for Indiana's best. Andy Moore, Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36, following all CDC recommended guidelines to make sure you remain healthy. That's job number one, and you have that peace of mind. Online, AndyMooreToyota.com. Look at the selection, and then contact Ben Mendoza and let the best go to work for you. It's Indiana's best. Andy Moore, Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
Denny Smith from my friends at Sundown Gardens. They're having a container tree sale through the end of May. Right now, Sundown Gardens is adding to their vast selection of container trees. They have many beautiful shade trees in stock. 20% off all container trees. That's 20% off all container trees through May 31st. Don't forget Sundown's colorful inventory of annuals, perennials, and hanging baskets. Sundown Gardens, over 70 years in business, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, just west of Grand Park. SundownGardens.com.
While you're staying safe at home during this time, you might still need to see your doctor. Get your symptoms checked or health questions answered from your smartphone, tablet, or computer with telemedicine. Telemedicine lets you video chat with your doctor to get the same health services without going to see them in person. Call your doctor to see if they offer telemedicine. A public service message by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Hey, John, for CarX and over 40-plus years, CarX Tire and Auto, number one priority would be, well, the customers and the Indianapolis community, and, of course, their employees and everybody's overall safety regarding COVID-19 and taking those precautions. That is job number one. But they are still number one in getting your car, truck, or van running the right way. Like right now, here's what they're offering up. Slide by your local CarX. It was great to hear the other day. Micah tell me that they were absolutely loaded, slammed with folks. So you guys are going out, making sure that stuff maybe you've overlooked in the past 3 months is taken care of. Right now at CarX, a free vehicle inspection offered to you. Special financing going on. AC inspections just in time for the summertime. $19.99 and lifetime brakes at $89.99 per axle. That includes a synthetic blend oil change. I know that the Joe Childers Run CarX locations in central Indiana have always been great. And now dealing with what we're dealing with to make sure you have that peace of mind and your safety and health is not compromised. Job number one. Also, just absolutely stratospherically great car, truck, or van service you're going to get every single time. For the location of CarX Tire and Auto nearest you, CarX.com. Don't worry. Call the CarX man.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Updating PPP. From the WIBC Newsroom, I'm Chris Davis with your coronavirus update. Senator Todd Young pushing a new bill to help small businesses affected by coronavirus. Kurt Darling reports.
It's called the Restart Act, essentially an extension of the Paycheck Protection Program.
And everyone seemingly has done their part. We in Congress need to continue to do our part.
Young speaking at the Children's Museum of Terre Haute Thursday. It's a bipartisan plan allowing businesses more time to apply for loans to stay afloat and gives them easier requirements to achieve in order to have those loans forgiven.
You probably haven't met any candidates for Tuesday's primary election in person. State Republican Party Chair Kyle Hupfer says the coronavirus is to blame for that.
You know, they're not able to go out and knock on doors, talk to them, go to small events. In-person fundraising was almost non-existent.
He says after the primary, candidates will begin making public appearances again. You've got another update coming up from the WIBC Newsroom. I'm Chris Davis.
Hey, we hope you're enjoying your weekend. Don't worry if you miss anything because you were playing golf or swimming or grilling out. We've got you covered on the Fan Morning Show starting at 7 here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
And you could tell Rolling Stone magazine that my last words were, I'm on drugs.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, yesterday's show, Tucker Barnhart, must listen, 1075thefan.com. Bobby Marks, ESPN front office NBA insider, also was on the show. Also must listen, 1075thefan.com. That was yesterday. Bob Lovell, Mike Wells a little bit earlier today. The podcast, again, 1075thefan.com. Getting older, getting better. Shout out YouTube Live. Longtime listener, first-time watcher. Checking out the Mr. Pibb. Checking out the Mr. Pibb and the Pecs. Working right now. How about JMV, RC Cola, and Powerhouse Candy Bars? Listen, I was a big fan of RC Cola, if for nothing else, back in the late 70s. I still have a ton of RC Cola cans that on the back they have like the baseball cards on cans. I have a ton. Rose, Morgan, Foster, Perez, Geronimo, Bake McBride, Gary Maddox. Steve Garvey, Ron Say, Davey Lopes, all the usual suspects of that era. Those cards, actually, those cans are great. I still have one that's unopened. I think I'd like to throw down a 45, 50-year-old can of RC. That tastes good. It's unopened down there. Still has the tab, the pop-top tab. They used to throw on the ground after you open one up. I think that's the Baked McBride I have in the basement, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff. But shout out to you right there, getting older, getting better. Glad you're on here. Toby Northern's our guy, too. Tomorrow night, we're going to give everybody a chance to win a Big Green Egg on the JMV Takeover. JMV, I got a Barry Larkin card and a Wonder Bread loaf of bread. My first time hearing of him. I might still have that card. Man, I got cards from everything. They used to send them in boxes of cereal, and they were supposed to be like 3D. Remember those? They were tiny, but like 3D looking. The backs, remember the backs of Hostess? Like ding-dongs and cupcakes and Twinkies had baseball cards you had to cut off on the back. I've got all those still. Every last one of them. So true. Pretty enjoyable, though. I saw this a little bit earlier. We were talking about the Colts with Mike Wells and thinking about, the running back combination of Marlon Mack and Jonathan Taylor, how good that is going to be. Did you say Bleacher Report had a ranking of, teams' offenses with two running backs? Where are the Colts ranked in that?
Yeah, they just put out an article about 2 weeks ago, and they had the Colts 15th.
Because it seems like on the surface that's a pretty good combination, but it's a combination because one is a rookie we haven't seen, so maybe that's the reason why. But who's rated at the best? Who's at the top five, if you will?
Number one is definitely, when you hear it, you don't really think about it, but it's definitely number one was the Browns. They got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Number two, the Panthers with McCaffrey and Mike Davis. That just seems like you're heavy on McCaffrey
That's
on that
it.
one.
Well, I mean, it's just like in Tennessee, you're going to be heavy on Derrick Henry, right?
Yep. They had Tennessee number 7.
Right.
And their backup is Darrington Evans.
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
Yeah, that's true. Huh. And the Colts come in 15th is what you say. Yeah, I mean, to me it's logical because you just have a guy that hasn't shown anything yet. So I don't think that's highly unusual.
And if you're looking at just talent, that makes sense. But if you combine the fact with the O-line, because you got to have a good O-line to have a good running game,
right?
Then the Colts definitely have to be top 5, I would think.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a lot. Again, there's a lot made up of the team, I think, is in a great position. But the team has to get a very strong year out of the quarterback. You can make no mistake about it. I mean, that's always going to be the first thing that you look at. That's why they were willing to make the jump that they did at Phillip Rivers, because they knew they had hit to what they believed to be the ceiling with Jacoby Brissett, and they needed more from that position, and that's what they're hoping to get. And again, if you saw the ESPN.com article about that a little bit earlier today, ranked them as far as really being into and putting so much into long-term the quarterback position. 25th is a good location for them because they don't have a long-term deal with Phillip Rivers. But if it doesn't work out, they certainly want 2 years. So it has to work out for them to bring him back. And if you don't, I mean, you're going through another search. I mean, for now, what would be the third consecutive year, you'd be going for yet another search at quarterback, and that's just not good. It has to work out. That has to work out. It has to work out for this year, and for it to work out, you brought food in here. For it to work out the next year, it has to work out this year. Pat Sullivan, Sullivan Hardware and Garden, brought in food. Hashtag Ask Pat for any of your questions. We'll talk about that. Smoking, meat, barbecuing, landscaping, mowing, whatever. And we'll also take your calls at 239-1070. Pat Sullivan in studio with us next.
Sports with Dan Dockich.
Adam Schefter joins us.
Let's just say hypothetically the California teams were not allowed to play home games. I would just say, you know what? We're in a pandemic. That's the way it goes this year. It's not ideal, but you do what you have to do to get through it. I mean, just think about how hard it is on the first responders. Not ideal for them either, but they're doing it. So if there's a team that is unfortunate enough not to be able to play in front of a home crowd, that's the way it goes, Dan.
Dan Dockich, weekdays, noon till 3 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Interesting times, Indy. It's good to know Rhino Shield's helping folks end their painting worries like they did with Rich.
Aluminum siding built in 1961, and we wanted to change the color.
Our crews always follow Indiana's guidelines on social distancing. We work outside while you're safe inside.
It's hard to paint aluminum siding and get a good adhesion with regular paint, so Rhino Shield was great.
And while we're all catching up on projects, it's the perfect time to get a great deal and the 25-year guaranteed protection of Rhino Shield.
They came on a Saturday and power washed, and in 2 full days, they worked on a Monday and were completely done by Tuesday.
Call today for a free virtual presentation and ask for our showcase homes near you where you can see our finished product from the safety of your car. Here's Rhino Shield Shane Smith.
Call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Protect your family and we'll protect your home for the next 25 years.
Hey, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the reopening of our local economy with our most amazing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with no money down on anything and everything. Yes! Now, for a limited time, Diamonds Direct is doing our part to help you get back to normal and celebrate your love like never before. Our prices and values are the best ever. Our showcases are fully stocked, and we're letting you buy now with nothing down, and you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Been putting off that engagement? Get her a $6,000 designer ring now and pay just $100 a month. Did you miss celebrating that anniversary? How about a $3,000 Diamond Eternity band for just $50 a month? Summer is the season for love, and we're doing all we can to make this summer one to remember with exceptional values, extra selection, and the most exceptional finance opportunity. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Keystone at the Crossing.
Hey, JMV here, and I know recently we've kind of learned, right, that there might be something out there that's even more essential in that time we were going through the toilet paper shortage, and that is your water. You've been home long enough to learn that your water, if it's not Connecticut water, which is the best, it's probably a problem water situation. I've had a Connecticut whole home water treatment system for years, and it's completely changed my viewpoint on the importance of clean, safe water. So join me on this great water revolution, won't you? Limited time. Call Connecticut. Tell them you want the JMV 20 discount. That is the JMV 20 discount. You'll get a whopping 20% off your purchase of the exact same system that I have. Oh, it's so easy. Just ask for the JMV 20 discount. Visit ConnecticutIndy.com to learn more, or tweet at me at JMV1070, and I'll give you the scoop on why you need to choose Connecticut. 2 locations, northeast side Castleton, south side US 31 and Southport Road. The brand new Connecticut Water app, which is spectacular. Download that to your smartphone or device today. Or again, ConnecticutIndy.com. Remember JMV 20. Ask for the JMV 20 discount.
We're all facing challenging times. With so much uncertainty, the team at Bill Estes Chevrolet is here for you. The service department is offering a disinfecting service for your vehicles. If you're looking to trade in your ride and purchase something new, get no payments for 120 days plus 0% interest for 84 months. Visit BillEstesChevy.com and purchase your new vehicle from your couch. Their online tools make it easy to value your trade and apply for financing. Visit BillEstesChevy.com. The team thanks you for your confidence.
Mike Wells here, and I'm letting you know that you can bet live on sports today. Yep, you heard that right. You can bet live on sports happening right now at BetRivers.com.
Hubler Chevrolet is open. Shop from the convenience of your home. Chevy cares and is offering 0% financing for 84 months on new Chevys. Learn more at drivehubler.com.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Ladies and gentlemen, join me on Monday. I'm going to be talking to AJ Foyt. If you need a race fix, who better? Who better than to talk to than AJ Foyt? Tucker Barnhart as well. Join me noon to 3.
The Ride with JMV.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber, you go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Hey, quick shout out. Happy birthday to my man Yaney. That's Scott Yaney. A heavy participator in the show. We appreciate that. Yaney writes this: I still think it will be akin to a bunch of single D-bags all amped up to hit the clubs, only to remember it wasn't that great in the first place. The game got worse during COVID, and it will take a while to regain what they barely had. I hope I'm wrong on sports. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to have the bar set at holy crap championship level out of the gate. I got my bar set on. I just want to see some damn competition. I just want to see competition. That's it. It's not very high right now. I mean, if they miss jump shots and all of a sudden they blow a defensive assignment, or you strike out too much, or you can't throw strike, whatever, I'm not as worried about that. I would need some competition in my life. I do. So that's my hope. Pat Sullivan's in studio. Hashtag Ask Pat on
Right
Twitter.
now we're doing Flippy Cup on Zoom.
See, that's about
have
the
you
level
done, have
of
you done that?
I have not, huh?
Yeah, we had a big Flippy Cup on Zoom. Actually, it was pretty fun.
Was it really?
Yeah.
You have to drink?
Kind of sad. Yeah, you do.
What are you guys drinking?
We were just drinking beer.
Okay.
Miller Lite.
Really? Yeah. Hey, by the way, shout out, you brought me from Sully's Grill.
Yeah, Sully's Grill is back open.
Nice.
You know, just real nice and easy. We don't have a full menu, but we've been doing some pulled pork and dog, stuff like that.
I like
so
it.
You sit outside, kind of get you used to going back to a restaurant, sit out by the dumpster behind our plate. No, sit out by the, you sit out and a forklift drives by with plants on it,
Let me tell you this. I pulled out of the parking lot after the takeover the other night, and I could have reached out and probably dropped some grated Parmesan cheese on people eating lasagna out here. Coming out of the parking garage. Buca de Beppo.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how
that
close
was a great
they were.
little setup.
Yeah, You want me to help you with that? So people were out there. I'm assuming because the weather is going to be conducive to sitting outside.
It's going to be a beautiful weekend, man. I tell you what.
I need it hotter. I don't want. I know. I should just fall in line with the 70s, but a low of 49 is just bull crap. So
you won't even be up when it's 49.
Oh, I'll be up.
It'll be 70s. It's going to be nice, man, for working.
This is supposed to be like San Diego
weather.
Weather.
Here's the difference. I pulled in my Andy Moore Tundra next to yours.
Yes.
All right. So same truck.
Yeah.
You have this beautiful white cap on it.
Yeah.
Mine's full of crap.
No, you ought to see under that cap.
Buckets, tools. So there's one person that is actually using it to work, and then you just like a truck.
You should see that cap is there, and one of the reasons why it's a great cap is because it's like an extra closet. It's like a rolling closet.
But how do you haul anything if you're hauling what if you had to put a pallet of mulch in there?
What do you do with the
delivered?
But hey, listen, nobody can say I get my ass is in the yard working. Like I am going through. I'm a crazy man today because I don't like to mow on the weekends. I don't. I want to mow
Tell you
during
what,
the week
you
twice.
drive down to Ravenswood up in my part of the country. See if you don't get the hell beat out of you with a cap like that on your truck.
No, come on now.
Seriously.
Oh,
you can't put your
your
tractor on there.
I would have the truck bed down and I'd let my kids ride and drag their feet in the gravel like I used to. Which, can you imagine? I'd get pulled over. I'd go to jail for that now.
You would.
Yeah. In a minute. What are you doing with your kids back there?
Yeah.
So that's what I used to do every day of my life back then. Yeah. Every day.
No, it's but great truck. We picked up a box truck out at Andy Moore last week.
That's what I hear.
Yep.
It's well done out of you.
That's
shout out to Andy Moore.
That is 2 in the fleet now that have come from Andy Moore.
He'd be hauling stuff right now. I did hear from Mark. Mark said his bad. He's sorry about the whole lump charcoal situation.
Yeah, you know what?
With Big Green Egg.
I'm telling you, I feel like we got 3 pallets of toilet paper because we got 3 pallets of lump charcoal today.
Really?
3
That's
pallets.
how valuable that is.
Yes, it is. couple weeks they're coming out with the Canadian bacon version or something.
Yeah.
What is it? Canadian what? Canadian lump? Canadian
lump?
Canadian maple.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Are they really coming out with that? Canadian maple, huh?
Yeah. Is that right? Yeah.
Well, it is the absolute best. I mean, you talked me into that. You said, hey, don't go for anything else.
Isn't it weird, though?
I used Kingsford, and it tasted like lighter fluid meat.
That's because
Oh, I've got it down. Man. I've got it down to a science now.
I know.
I can get it done quick now. I used to not be able to. I can get it done quick
you're using
now.
the wrong charcoal, then you're using accelerants.
I used that crappy Kingsford stuff. I'm swearing it tasted like I had lighter fluid steak. I go, man, I tasted damn lighter fluid on this stuff. That's not good. So never again, Pat Sullivan. Never again.
Man, you're hard to teach. I will tell you that.
But once I go through it a couple of different times, I do learn. I've got the potential of learning real good.
Hey, I talked to Griff in sales, so we're working on the details of the JMV takes on Mike Wells.
Yes. Right.
The brisket challenge for a $5,000 to the winner's charity.
That is beautiful. I'll be ready.
And Tucker Barnhart's in. He's your assistant.
Well,
That's what he says.
I know. Well,
when are they going to start playing baseball?
He's going to be my assistant. I'm hoping he's playing baseball, but I don't know if they're going to be playing baseball. So he's ready to go.
It's kind of bad when Tucker's volunteering to be an assistant in a brisket contest.
No. Wasn't a good sign, but I'll take it because he's much better than I am at doing that, for real. So, we do the JMV takeover for what I think is the final time tomorrow, but I've heard rumblings that we may go through June now. So
you know why it's important for you to do that? Because you calm the people.
Calm the people.
I'm telling you what. I've done retail all my life. We have never been yelled at more.
Yeah.
In this time ever in the history of me working. It's just people are on edge.
Yeah.
And so when you do something like what you do Saturday night, and what you do really every day,
right?
And it just kind of like gives that normalcy to people, kind of like
Saturday
chill
night.
Out.
Saturday night is like this. I mean, Saturday night is I want as much interaction as possible, and I think that's what people have missed. Just being able to call up and get that interaction, or hearing themselves, on the radio talking up a song, and it's just much different because we've gotten away from that so much because it's just easy to voice track it on a Wednesday and put it in the can and not worry about it. But this is much different, and I think people have been, especially while being at home, have been attracted to that aspect of it. Yeah. And I nothing really besides IndyCar is going to fire up in the month of June outside of golf, I think, too, in NASCAR.
Right.
So we're going to have some time. I may, I know Griff has said that he's got somebody. I know Joe Koppel's got some folks. So, if you guys, I'd love to have you guys back again. If you guys want to be back on for the month of June. I just haven't asked the people to run the station yet.
You know what?
So I haven't asked them.
Are they here?
Uh-huh.
No, they're not
here.
I
saw Bob Richards in the hall goes, I think it'd be a good idea to keep it going.
Bobby's not in charge.
I haven't asked my wife yet.
Bobby's not in charge of that station. He's in the corner office. He doesn't even know who runs those stations.
I haven't asked my wife, and I probably should have done that, but I don't think we're doing anything on a Saturday night for the month of June. So what the hell?
Yeah,
it's easy.
You've been married a long time.
20 years in the month of June.
Saturdays are out.
I do. Yeah, 20-year anniversary. What is the 20-year anniversary? What do I have to buy?
That is lump charcoal.
Is it really? Good. I'm right up my alley. Yeah. I figured it was silver or gold or diamond or something.
It's that's when you're young. 5 years, the first year. That's
so
when
20-year represents nothing?
That's all that romantic stuff. Once you get to 20, it really becomes like household, like I think 25 is Chase Lounges or something, isn't it?
It's not. I'm glad it's not Tiffany.
No,
Fine China.
I think 25 is Chase Lounges.
We could do that. I'd like to have that.
Yeah.
How about some deck stain?
Deck stain.
Deck stain is for 20. I can do that.
That would. You know what? That's really. I mean, so it's gonna like that more than like a ring.
We've got the hot tub fired up out there too. So
now, what do you turn the Royal Spa down to when it gets a little warm?
It's been at 103.
See, that's where mine is.
I
103.
dialed it down to 98.
Okay,
98 is where it is right now.
Yeah. So in April, I had turned mine down to 98, and then we had cold snap, and then 98's too cold.
Right.
So
yeah, I had it at 103, and it is pretty damn hot. And like the back half of the day, sun just pounds. I've always said this. I have the perfect backyard for a pool because from basically 11 until the sun goes down, whatever it does, the sun just pounds.
Does the same darn thing every year.
Perfect place
from what I hear. Right?
Pool.
Is that
Perfect
right?
Place.
Yeah, it does the same thing, that sun.
Yeah.
So I have perma pool. They put my pool in, and now they're taking care of they come out and do weekly service. I'm pampering myself. So now they're taking care of the Royal Spa.
They are.
Yes,
now.
they get all the pH set perfectly. So we had a little incident yesterday in the perma pool. So we have chipmunks. You have a lot of chipmunks running around?
No,
So
no, we
really
have raccoons.
a
I don't have any no chipmunks. I just have raccoons occasionally.
Chipmunks
That's it.
everywhere. And so they run across the pool cover.
Yeah.
So they're always running back and forth. So the grandkids were swimming. I don't think the chipmunks knew the pool cover wasn't on.
He just took a dive in the
water.
water.
He took a dive in. So I'm thinking, this is great. This is like chip and dip.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
But then 4-year-old grandson had to scoop him out.
That's
CPR.
Didn't make it?
No, he made it. Let him go.
Yeah.
I blame Disney. For this whole chipmunk thing.
Yeah, see, we grew up with an in-ground pool, and I can't tell you how much weird stuff I pulled out of the skimmer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what?
I
I was sticking my hand in thinking I was
snakes, mice.
I grabbed hold of a vole.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I was trying to get some of the leaves and crap out of there when I was sitting there drinking a margarita.
What we call a crawdad. You know, the crawdads when it rains really hard and they get flushed out of the ground. Those things are ready to pinch you too. They're unhappy about the situation.
Yeah, that should be like something you learn as a kid. Don't put your hand in the skimmer.
Gotcha. So
skimmer hole.
Pat Sullivan, Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Well, I stepped in it. I stepped in it once and broke the cover. Was drunk, and I stepped in the middle of it.
Did you?
Oh, yeah. That's always a hazard right there.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when you have big-time parties back in the day like that. Hashtag Ask Pat for Pat Sullivan. Can you recommend a remote thermometer to monitor grill temps? Bluetooth doesn't have the range that I need. That's from Matt.
You know what? Weber now has Weber, who had Bluetooth, now has a what is it, Wi-Fi? So what they call it, Wi-Fi?
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Bluetooth.
So they have a Bluetooth model that's and the Weber one is really cool. You can use it with any grill. You literally dial it up. There's different probes. If you want your steak medium, I want mine medium rare. I set them. You get text messages when they're almost done. Tells you what color probe is done. Really nice outfit.
I actually had a good piece of meat the other night, a good steak. And from all places, I got it from Maya. My wife got it there. It's pretty good. Now, on the Big Green Egg, if I cook something around 350 or 4, is that ideal? And how long should I keep it on there? Because I guess I just have to monitor it, and then I go out and kind of cut a slice in it to see where it is because I want it medium rare. My wife, on the other hand, wants it well done.
Right.
What's the normal cooking temp for 350 to 4 or 450?
See, it all depends on.
Is that too high?
No. Well, you know what? If you're going to reverse sear, you'd come down just a little bit, maybe about 250, 300, and then you would cook it usually a couple minutes on each side for a medium temp for about 140, 145 degrees, and then you pull it off, crank up the heat, and then 30 seconds on each side.
All right.
And then that's the reverse sear.
All right. Hashtag Ask Pat. By the way, we are today answering questions. He's answering questions. We read this on the air. You get on the air at 239-1070. We're giving away Big Green Egg rubs and
you know what? There's some our custom they're corksicle wine glasses. The little state of Indiana says back home again. Kind of a Sullivan Hardware exclusive.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it. It looks great, though.
Yeah.
So if you get on the air and in whatever capacity, the winner that Kyle picks, that is what you will get. Nick writes this, hashtag Ask Pat, does Sullivan Hardware and Garden contract any companies to do any home entertainment?
No.
I'm assuming that's outdoor entertainment, too, which is a big deal now. Everybody's got televisions and everybody's got sound systems outside.
I know it. No, we don't have any companies, but I know a couple good companies. If you want to fire me an email at pat@wibc.com.
Yeah, pat@wibc.com, Nick, and he will pass that along. So do you guys have entertainment center outside too?
At the home?
Outside?
Yes.
By the pool?
Yes. Got speakers all around the pool.
I like that.
In the pool house. all throughout the house, so different zones.
Do you have like fake rock speakers?
No, you know what? We actually have these posts with a swivel speaker on it, so I can, if I'm in the Royal Spa, I just kind of turn them toward the Royal Spa. It's really nice. But what I want to get is that outdoor TV. When we were doing the backyard barbecues a couple years ago, two weeks in a row, we went and these guys had these outdoor TVs, and man, they're fabulous. I mean,
people go, like my neighbor Jeff Watson's Awesome's got a great setup, and he got bar, got television, speakers like you're talking about everywhere too. But yeah, it's great to just sit out there.
Nice.
We sat out there on Sunday and watched the match with Tiger and
Peyton
and Mickelson.
That's pretty fun.
And Tom Brady. It was great watching it outside, but. No,
have they auctioned off Brady's pants yet? That would be a great auction item,
somebody
would it not?
Somebody would pay a ton of money for that.
Yeah.
There's any doubt about it.
Yep.
But no, that's kind of everybody essentially, I think, has that now in their backyard, in their setup right now.
And that is what people are doing. And that's why you can't really it's hard to find plants. So, if you want a tomato, you get what you get.
My Royal Spa has a Kenwood car stereo in the side of it, which is pretty sweet. Yeah, I have that, and then I have like speakers. I got Bose speakers and stuff all the way around. But I can't go anywhere without music, man. I can't go on the back deck and anything like that.
There's nothing more peaceful than being on that Royal Spa and just listening to music. It's like
Scott Yaney writes this #Ask Pat. Thanks for the birthday shout out, JMV. Ask Pat when we can line up some Q&A with Justin Weddle.
Justin is who actually produced the pulled pork.
Yes.
Yeah, there's always a Justin fan. He's always promoting Justin. So, no, Justin does a great job, does a nice brisket, pulled pork. So he's kind of like, say, Sully's Grill is just kind of opening outside, and a nice soft opening. Come in, grab some beers, and hot dogs, pulled pork, sliders, nachos, that kind of stuff.
#Ask Pat. This is from Butler Bulldog basketball color analyst Nick Gardner.
Nick.
What should I do to get rid of, and it's not, it looks like it says Minor. I was thinking Mark Minor bees, but he means minor bees that have taken over my front yard.
Already.
Minor bees.
Yeah, you know what? So I think I would probably, if you can't identify where they're coming, I think I would probably spread some 7 dust in there. And then the 7 dust, as they trail through it, should kill the herd, as they say. But I'm kind of surprised I feel like that's a little early, no?
Think so?
Bees and stuff. Although we got some wasps hanging around the house already. The other thing that people need to start doing on their lawn is putting down fungicide. You get the amount of heat that we've had and the amount of water, and it is ripe for fungus. And so if you've had...
There's fungus among us.
There is fungus. So if you've had red thread or dollar spot or one of those in the past, I would be putting down my fungicide right now, because fungicides are protectants, and if you wait until you see the damage, you can't reverse it. So this would be the time to protect your lawn.
#Ask Pat. This is from Mike. Mike wants to know, is it now too late to put vegetables in the ground for gardening?
No.
When is the last point?
You can put tomatoes down at the end of June.
Okay.
So, you get a 70, 80 days. I mean, you have plenty of time. So, no, this is and really, I'm hoping that some of the growers are going to lay down a second crop, because I'm just saying, if you see a tomato, grab it. I wouldn't wait and look for the perfect brand, but you can certainly, mid-June. Mid-June, but
Yep.
you can go later. And remember, when you're planting a tomato, because it's a vine, you plant it as deep as you can. I would put it 5-6 inches into the ground and just let a couple inches of the plant stick up, because then it vines all along the stem, and that evens out the moisture, because as you know, John, the moisture, you get blossom end rot when you get those wild swings of moisture. We talked about it,
Yeah, well, I'm all about. I like to say the word moist all the time.
Yeah,
so,
I know you do.
Yeah, I try to work that in as
and
much
then
as possible.
you had blossom end rot in high school, so I recall.
I had blossom end rot and moist. I had some moist rot.
Yeah.
So. #Ask Pat, JMV at 1070thefan.com from PJ. My flower beds have very little thistle. Can't use weed killer.
Why?
Will kill the plants.
Well, you know what? That's because you suck when you shoot.
And I have a son and dog. What can I use to get rid of them for good without risking killing the plants?
All right.
And is kid and pet friendly.
All right, first of all, you sound like a sissy. No, I'm kidding, of course. So here all right, that's the same way either way. So you don't, you're right. You cannot get it on the desirable plant. So, but there is no soil activity in either Roundup or an organic weed and grass killer. So what you'll do is you'll take a snow shovel, put it between the weed and the desirable plant, and spray it. Or if you want to use Roundup, Roundup has what looks like a stick deodorant, and you just take that stick deodorant and you just rub it on the plant. You don't have to hit all the plant, just a little bit, and it'll kill it. But you can get some great organic weed and grass killers. So you just don't put it on the desirable plant.
Hashtag Ask Pat, Pat Sullivan, Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Childress writes this: you and Pat need some zip shades on the patio to make a weather barrier. My company has designed and makes the best in the U.S. right here in Indiana.
Really?
Yep.
I'd like to take a look.
It is called Zip Shades. I think I need zip shades.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
BT Deuce says the 20-year anniversary gift is a vacuum cleaner. Is that accurate?
Well, it depends on whether it's got auto drive on it.
Believe how expensive some of those son of a guns are, though.
Vacuums?
Yeah, you can go buy $700, can't you?
Yeah.
Vacuum cleaners.
But you know what? You get a good set of headlights and some auto drive on that thing. That's worth it.
Do you probably have the Roomba that just go around, the robots that go around by themselves? Do you have those?
No? I'd really let somebody push it.
Yeah. That's what you do. Far be it from anybody to be able to do that, right?
That's a great idea, though. Did you hear the story? Did you read the thing about the person with the intruder in the house? It was all over the news. And the intruder was trapped in the bathroom. And and the homeowner called police. Police came in. They were there like 2 hours with the SWAT team. Incredible. It was the Roomba. That had gotten stuck in the bathroom and was banging against the doors. And so they thought somebody was in there.
Hey, this is from David Bayer. The QLED TV outdoor experience from Samsung is where it's at.
Is it? Okay.
I guess that's what he's saying right now to me. That is.
I want to be able to swivel it around so I can swivel it towards the Big Green Egg or swivel it toward the Royal Spa.
That makes all the sense in the world right there. I mean, you got to listen. Nobody's really going on vacation too much, so your backyard now becomes the vacation destination, doesn't it?
Yep.
Absolutely. I think that's where it all begins right there. Pat Sullivan in studio, Sullivan Hardware and Garden. You got the big show coming up tomorrow morning?
Yeah, tomorrow morning at 9:06. 9 till 1 on our sister station. That is WIBC 93.1.
I enjoy calling in.
Yes, please do, won't you?
Love calling in.
Yeah. I talked to Kevin, the guy who runs the big board, specifically about treating you with a little more respect.
Yes.
And not to leave you hanging, that you're really important, and not to leave, once he calls, get it up on the board so I know that he's there.
Leaving me hanging.
He has no idea who you are, does he?
I don't think so. That's all right, though. I enjoyed doing it. And Denny Smith has called in now the last 2 weeks.
He's retired, so
requests.
I'm sure he'll call tomorrow as well.
Denny Smith, 2 requests, 2 weekends in a row. And
do you remember what he requested? I know there's a lot of stuff.
I think it might have been Jack and Diane from Mellencamp last weekend. No, I take that back. It was the Authority song maybe from Mellencamp. It was a Mellencamp song for sure. Yeah.
He was trying to be hip. He's probably doing all kinds of research and stuff.
Tomorrow night, I'll give away the Big Green Egg, courtesy of
So is that in the 10 o'clock hour or the 9 o'clock hour? Or is that over the weekend?
No, I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it just yet. I may do it at the end of the show.
Okay.
At the end of the show on Sunday. Or on Saturday night, right before 10 o'clock, and I'll give that away then and let everybody know. Ideally, I wouldn't mind to be able to give it away and then have the person call in that won it, but I don't know how I'm going to do that over Twitter, so I think I might just give it away at the end of the show. But you guys have been great for that.
It's been fun to do.
The response has been incredible.
We need normal stuff in our lives.
Yes, we do, and that has been great. Jody Watley actually sent a video sing-along for me for the show last week, which was just awesome. But, I mean, we've trended number 1 every weekend since we've been keeping track of it here in the month of May, for 4 to 5 to 6 to even 8 hours. I think we actually were 5 hours number one trending here in Indy, and then Indy 500 kind of took over. I think after midnight we ran second until like 5 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. But it has been the response has been great.
Yeah.
And thank you guys for giving away the big green egg, because that's kind of us giving back to them for listening and being a part. And I'm not sure just yet, but we may be going through the month of June, so hopefully
I don't think anybody's
done.
I'm getting the feeling that nobody's really going anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, and nothing. I mean, nothing's going to be going on other than, like I said, IndyCar, NASCAR,
right?
And then you're going to have some golf.
What's your bet on the 500 in August?
As far, I think that I think it goes off, and I think it has fans.
You do.
They're not going to run it without fans.
Because people keep asking me about Egg Fest.
Yeah.
And I say, hey, you know what?
Right.
It's right the weekend by the 500. If 500's going, Egg Fest is going.
I think that it all depends on how we look as far as this is concerned in a month. Like right now, I can sit here and I can feel a little bit more confident that things are slowly sliding back in place,
trending down.
But again, the big thing about the 500 is they don't want to run that without fans. So
right.
How can you justify having fans there? I think that they would move it back.
They probably have to do
fans.
complete different setups on the car without people sitting in the stand.
I'm assuming that date in October is maybe a fallback just in case they're not allowed to have fans in there yet. That's my guess. I don't know for sure, but
that'd be weird.
When Mark Miles joined me last week, it was fairly clear that they weren't going to be doing that, or they didn't think about doing it without fans. And they kind of look at it as I do right now. I mean, you're thinking that it's on the schedule and as scheduled until further notice, and that's how you got to go about talking it up.
Because I do think people are bailing on things way in the future that I'm not sure that I would bail on.
I mean, it seems like it, but I don't know. Egg Fest is in August?
Yeah, it was actually on the date of the 500, so I called Mark and said, hey, Mark, you're dropping the 500 in here on Egg Fest.
Right.
And so I don't know if do you really want the 500 competing with Egg Fest, but I was man enough to go ahead and move Egg Fest so that Mark Miles and they can have the 500.
That's a hell of an idea right there. Hell of an idea. Hey, thank you to Justin for the food right there.
Pulled pork sliders.
Thank you and Mark for the big green egg giveaway tomorrow. And hopefully you guys are back with us coming up in the month of June.
We got details coming up on the big charity giveaway.
Yes.
JMV takes on Mike Wells.
I'm going to.
Mike Wells is in, man.
I got my injector. I'm going to inject my meat.
You know what you ought to do is inject Mike Wells.
Yeah.
Then that would slow him down a little bit.
I'm going to inject my meat. I've been watching Barbecue Pitmasters, so I'm injecting my meat coming up here. But now that's going to be fun for a great cause.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you do.
All right,
9:06 tomorrow morning, WIBC.
You got it. Thank you.
With Denny, and I'll be a part of that at some point during the broadcast. Thank you, Pat.
Thanks, John.
Pat Sullivan Hardware and Garden, just 30 minutes away. We'll do an Anything Goes coming up at the top of the hour to close out your week where you can vent about anything that you want. Until that point in time, your chance to call in if you want to discuss the NBA plans that are kind of leaking out right now. What you think about that coming up in July? Any Colts, any NFL, or if you want to drop in any MLB by virtue of our conversation yesterday with Tucker Barnhart, you can do that as well. 239-1070. Back with you next. Some NBA play getting back.
Closer and closer, and we think to play certainly in the NBA.
A return strategy.
Why would there be no fans in the stands?
It doesn't matter to me that there are no fans.
They want to keep things close to the vest.
There's no reason to say anything at this point.
If you're talking about it.
Players are starting to get a little itchy.
It matters to a lot of folks.
We're talking about it.
Let us go in and play.
So I got to get serious about this.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Guys, prioritizing your health now is more important than ever. It all starts with an annual wellness exam at Low T Center, where they do a comprehensive health assessment to get all your numbers checked, including a COVID-19 antibody test. And now when you get your annual wellness exam, you can add the antibody test for $60. This simple blood test is FDA authorized and 99.9% accurate. Go to lowtcenter.com to learn more and book your annual wellness exam with the COVID-19 antibody test. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Best service, best products. Do it best.
Hi, Pat Sullivan here of Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Yes, we have thousands of home improvement items in stock, but what separates us are the things you won't find in a typical big box store. A wide selection of annuals and perennials, many grown right here in Indianapolis. A wide array of patio furniture at our Keystone location, our Weber grills, and don't forget the world's best smoker and grill, the Big Green Egg, available at Sullivan Hardware and Garden.
Minimize the work and maximize the fun on your deck. Use SuperDeck Exterior Stain for wood surfaces including decks, fences, siding, and furniture. Available in 63 colors and one coat application will give years of protection. Now, save $8 per gallon-sized container after rebate on all exterior care products. See store for details. SuperDeck is only available at independent retailers like your neighborhood Do It Best. Visit Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and now Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan and Fishers.
Best service, best products. Do it best.
We're all facing challenging times. With so much uncertainty, the team at Bill Estes Chevrolet is here for you. The service department is offering a disinfecting service for your vehicles. If you're looking to trade in your ride and purchase something new, get no payments for 120 days plus 0% interest for 84 months. Visit BillEstesChevy.com and purchase your new vehicle from your couch. Their online tools make it easy to value your trade and apply for financing. Visit BillEstesChevy.com. The team thanks you for your confidence.
Payless Liquors is open and ready for you to come back into the stores and start your shopping for those great summertime flavors like Ciroc Watermelon, Crown Royal Peach, Smirnoff Red, White, and Berry, all in stock and ready to go, plus great prices on Evan Williams, Jim Beam, Jack Daniels, and Tito's. And at all Payless Liquor locations, Sutter Home Moscato and Rosé are just $2.99 a bottle, and Bud Light, Miller Lite, and Coors Light 24-pack long neck bottles are only $17.99 at all 26 Payless Liquor locations. Online at PaylessLiquors.com. Don't pay more, get more, and pay less at Payless Liquors.
Hey, John for PAI, WeGrowHairIndy.com. I'm here to tell you about options in the hair regrowth game that's out there. Let's say you saw yourself in a reflection and you don't like the fact you're losing your hair or your hair is thinning. I'm here to tell you that you have options out there with your hair regrowth with PAI. 317-522-2995. That is Darren Andrews, who will give you all the insides, all the know-how, all the wisdom that they follow protocol-wise, too, to make sure that your health and safety is not compromised whatsoever. They're the absolute best at doing this, too. And if you want options for regrowth in your hair, one place and one place only to go. That's PAI, 317-522-2995 for that private consultation with Darren Andrews or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Your local Big O Tires is open and ready to serve you. Stop in for up to $150 off Big O brand tires and financing options tailored to you. Big O Tires, the team you trust.
It's the Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe.
Bill Polian. You know me, I was always the eternal take it easy, don't go overboard guy. So I'm trying not to now, but when I look at this roster, I really get excited. I think this is as good a team as they've had since we left. This is a team that's a legitimate contender.
The Fan Morning Show with Jeff and Big Joe. Weekday mornings 7 till 10. Only on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Don't read your email, because I'm really butthurt when you read your email.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back. We saw this a little bit earlier from the Minnesota Twins. They are paying their minor leaguers through August, and it appears that the Reds are doing the same. Is it through August? How long are the Reds are doing that? Paying their minor leaguers?
I think, the first week of September when the minor league season is usually over.
Okay.
Houston, the Astros are doing it, and the Reds announced they're doing that as well.
Now, these are the only three teams that we have heard that are doing that?
I think that we've seen publicly so far.
Wow. All right, well, good. Good for the Reds, and good for the minor leaguers, because it was Jeff Passan yesterday that reported that the minor leaguers were getting cut, not going to get paid, and ending a lot of dreams. And at least those three teams that we have learned so far are, in fact, paying their minor leaguers. So that part, my friends, is a good thing. No question about it. At JMV 1070, we're on Twitter. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. Shout out to BT Do. Thank you for the O. Henry candy bar fortune. That's Sue Ellen Misc right there, which was fantastic back in the day of Seinfeld. She was the O. Henry candy bar heiress back in the day. That is, just simply put, outstanding. Thank you very much. Hey, JMV, I heard you talking a little bit earlier about the Reds from 1990. I completely agree. What was funny about that was that NLCS with Pittsburgh, that was a hell of a lot tougher than what they dealt with the A's in the World Series. There's no doubt. I mean, the Pirates took the Reds, and those were tough games. The Reds got them in 6, but each one of those games were, by baseball standards, tight. And that Game 6 won by the Reds that clinched it and moved them on to the World Series was a 2-1 outcome. The Reds just absolutely rolled up what looked to be, especially in the final 2 games. I mean, the A's were past it. They were listless. I don't know if it was because of the surprise and the relative ease in which they were being handled by the Reds. And remember, outside of 89, I mean, that was a team that was, in the World Series, 3 consecutive times, 88, 89, and 90, and they were favorites in all 3 and won but 1 back then. I'd have Canseco and McGuire and Henderson and Connie Lansford and Dave Stewart, Bob Welch, who was going through a career revitalization, if you remember back then. I think Mike Moore was on that squad too. Eckersley as their closer. I mean, they had a lineup. But I thought the much tougher out back then, thanks for asking me that question back then, was that of the Pirates in the NLCS, because they were stacked too, and they had arguably one of the best all-time managers in Jim Leyland. Thank you for that. At JMV, I also saw some of these reports regarding the NBA. I am too surprised that the NBA is waiting until the 31st. Again, presuming these reports are accurate, to return. I'll assume as well. I'll assume that they're only coming back that late because you're trying to get your players back and fully ready to go, while also trying to maintain that teams get to the 70 mark with games being played during the regular season. That's all I can come to, because to me, I wouldn't wait that long. I don't know. I want to see the reasons why they wait that long. That seems to me a little bit too long. I think most of you agree with me on that. It seems a little bit too long. But we shall see. Hey, JMV, I heard you talking about the Colts running back situation going into next year, and I agree. I think it's going to be much better than what people are giving it credit to being right now, especially in that particular article that talked about all the other teams. 14 running back tandems better than the Colts in the NFL. Here's what you have to bear in mind. We haven't seen Jonathan Taylor yet. I mean, you're expecting to get from Marlon Mack in now a contract year. And because he has played well, but you haven't seen the Wisconsin rookie play just yet. I think the expectation is there. I mean, there's no doubt that's what the Colts expect. But you haven't seen that, and with teams like New Orleans, for example, I mean you have seen that. What do they have? Kamara and Murray. Who else we talking? We were talking about, and also you got to keep this in mind. You also have a couple of feature guys in there that have much lesser known running backs as part of their tandem. When you're talking about the Panthers with McCaffrey or the Titans with Henry, you have a much lesser known commodity there. And, what they're going by with that at the running back position is the overall production of the feature back. That is what makes sense to me. But again, it's just stuff for you to debate in the backyard with your friends, your family, whatever, in a Zoom call, however you're keeping in touch and want to debate about your sports. That is probably it right there. Hey, JMV, I, like you, was a huge fan of Eric Davis. Did you imitate his batting stance? I not only imitated his batting stance, but I imitated how he caught balls in center field. He was a slap the glove on the thigh before he caught it. I thought everybody did that back in the day. Am I wrong? You had the slap the glove on your thigh before you catch it, and then you had Barry Bonds who would snatch it. He was the first one I ever saw that snatched it. He would catch it with his, he would catch it and go to the left and then bring it down, kind of snatch it. That's how I viewed that. But, yeah, I'm trying to imitate that batting stance. I mean, back then, when Eric Davis he broke in, I think, in 84 and really started to come around. I don't think 86, but 87 certainly. That's when he was 40-40. 87, I should say, 40-40. So, yeah, I mean, back at that point in time, he was my favorite player in Major League Baseball, and everybody was imitating that. Dave is at 239-1070 before the break. Dave, go ahead. How are you?
How you doing, JMV?
I'm great.
Hey, so I got to ask you a question, man. You play 4 years and you get $2 million a year, and you got $2.12 million net worth, and your team comes to you and says, "We're not sure you're the guy, but you might be the guy. So we're going to pay you $31 million this year just to see if things are going to work out." How quick are you signing that deal?
Yeah, it depends on what I have as options right now. I would probably say that I would sign it quickly. I would agree. I mean, it kind of sounds like that's what you want. It's like, this is what you want, but is how you're saying it. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, when you stop and think about it, I mean, if the guy's confident and he thinks he's a big-time quarterback and deserves the type of money he's talking about, I don't see why you'd have a problem signing for 1 year for $31 million, knowing that you might tag again.
Yeah.
Or you might get the big deal if you have a good year.
Well, I mean, you look what's been done here with Phillip Rivers. I mean, he got $25 million for 1 year here, but make no mistake, they are hoping and they want him to be a $25 million franchise tag for a second year. I mean, they want him with one more. I mean, they may have him for one, but they want him for another because that means they've had success. If they don't have him for two here, they don't have success, and then there is the issue. I mean, that's a huge issue if that happens. But, hey, I got to ask you this as a Cowboys fan. Andy Dalton is there for no other reason but to back up, or just in case? Why is Andy Dalton actually there?
I think it's for leverage. Here's the funny thing. What if Dak doesn't sign and they end up making the playoffs this year with Dalton?
Yeah, and it very well could happen. Yeah, exactly. What would happen? I could see that. I think ultimately something gets worked out, but I would agree. I mean, I would definitely take a bet on myself here with that in mind. But I would agree with you on the Andy Dalton thing. To me, at the time, it sounded like more than just the fact that he was from the area originally and that they felt comfortable with him as a backup. It kind of felt like, a seriously being viewed plan B in this case, Dave. That's what it sounded like.
Well, you have something to think about. 9-year starter, and he didn't always have a lot of talent around him. Still made the playoffs, didn't get much farther than that. The guy can win games. I think they got a steal right there.
Hey, Dave, you have a great weekend. Thanks for bringing up that topic and call again. Quick break, and we'll come back. Hey, top of the hour, anything goes. You guys got anything on your mind? Anything you want to vent about? Anything sports-wise you want to talk about? We got that wide open. I've got 11 minutes and 40 seconds and counting for anything goes coming up at the top of the hour. Next week's going to be really enjoyable. I promise you that. And again, I got to thank Pat Sullivan's for Sullivan Hardware and Garden and my man Mark for giving up that big green egg for us to give away coming up tomorrow. We got an Anything Goes coming up tomorrow night right here for you over on B105.7. And tomorrow night's going to be one of those nights in which I run it on my own. Chris Woldridge, who is always in there for the most part with me, can't make it, so I am on my own. I'm like, on my own. Exactly. Who is that? Michael McDonald and Patty LaBelle? Is that on my own? I'm on my own in that fashion. Coming up tomorrow night, but it's going to be a blast. It has. And as I mentioned, people have talked to me about advertising and going on through June, and I'm up for it if you guys are up for it through June. If you guys get excited about it and want me to do it, I'll definitely do it on a Saturday night because it's been that fun. All right, anyway, quick break. We'll come back. Top of the hour, Anything Goes. We'll recap today, get you a little bit more primed for what to expect over the weekend as far as NBA knowledge is concerned and whether or not we all believe that MLB is going to be back in the foreseeable future. And listen, I know deep down inside they know it, but the posturing and positioning game is being played right now. Your expectation. That and more with you. Other side next.
Shut in or just hanging out. Nice thing about Kevin Bowen's podcast and the latest sports news is you can listen anytime, anywhere. 1075thefan.com or your inbox for free.
I love local Indianapolis restaurants and want to see them all get through this trying time. How better to do that than to team up with a fantastic partner like Pepsi and create the Pepsi Dan Dockich deal of the day. That's right. Check out 1075thefan.com for a list of all the great restaurants that are participating and what their incredible Pepsi Dan Dockich deal is. Please support these restaurants on their Pepsi Dan Dockich meal deal day. 1075thefan.com for all the details. Pepsi, that's what I like.
Hey, John, for Indiana's best, Andy Moore, Toyota, and Avon. I just actually had somebody call in here and ask about it. Here's what I want you to do. If you're going out there tomorrow, caller from a little bit earlier, ask for Ben Mendoza. Just tell the folks out there that I sent you, and then have them go to work on the vehicle of your choice. I think the caller was looking at a minivan. The Sienna minivan, I can tell you this, is the best on the market right now, and let Ben and the staff go to work for you on the best possible deal. And oh, by the way, do not have the concern or be hesitant about going out there because they're following all CDC recommended guidelines for your health and your safety. That's exactly what they're doing, testing employees. So feel confident that not only your health, your well-being will not be compromised, but you once again will get the best car buying experience at Indiana's Best. Also remember, you can do it contactless online, AndyMooreToyota.com. You can see all the vehicles they have, and maybe, as our caller talked about, zone in on the Sienna minivan, which is the absolute best. And you'll get the best deal at your best place. The best car buying experience is at Indiana's Best. Tell Ben Mendoza I sent you to Andy Moore Toyota in Avon, 5 miles west of 465 on US 36.
With more than 1,000 people evacuated from the building while it undergoes black mold removal and
turn that off.
$15 million in repairs.
Turn it off. Yeah, I saw it. Well, you hired the contractor. You tell me what happened. So you're saying we cut corners?
Imagine if students on your campus were left out in the cold because somewhere someone cut corners. Building owners and customers are often kept in the dark about the risks of poorly installed mechanical insulation. The Heat and Frost Insulators Local 18 Code of Workmanship doesn't allow anything below specification. The Insulation Contractors Association of Indianapolis ensures your job is done right. Every project, every time. Learn more at insulators18.org. The Brothers and Sisters of Energy Efficiency, insulating you from escalating costs.
We are Local 18!
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly. There's never been a better time in history for a cash-out refinance. You can drop your house payment a couple $100, skip 2 full months of mortgage payments, pay off all your high-interest rate credit card debt, and fill up your savings account with cash. That's how you come out of the shutdown ready for whatever the future brings. Get pre-approved for your cash-out refinance today with our 5-minute loan approval, only available at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, it's John here for Diamonds Direct. So Diamonds Direct is back, right? And they have an incredible offer, and I'm glad that I'm with Diamonds Direct because I need that offer. I've got a 20-year anniversary coming up in June, and I am lousy at picking out a gift. I don't even know what 20 years anniversary-wise means, but I do know this. I do know that when I am taking a home run swing on a great gift for her, Diamonds Direct is the place. And right now, take advantage of 5 years, 0 interest financing. So if you're looking for that perfect gift or you're taking that home run swing just like me, 5 years, 0 interest on everything in the store is going on at Diamonds Direct. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, fashion jewelry, colored gemstone jewelry, even GIA certified diamond. Everything is included. Celebrate your love like you never have before in the summer of 2020. 5 years, 0 interest financing, only at Diamonds Direct. For store hours online, diamondsdirect.com. Keystone at the Crossing.
Updating PPP. From the WIBC Newsroom, I'm Chris Davis with your coronavirus update. Senator Todd Young pushing a new bill to help small businesses affected by coronavirus. Kurt Darling reports.
It's called the Restart Act, essentially an extension of the Paycheck Protection Program.
And everyone seemingly has done their part. We in Congress need to continue to do our part.
Young speaking at the Children's Museum of Terre Haute Thursday. It's a bipartisan plan allowing businesses more time to apply for loans to stay afloat and gives them easier requirements to achieve in order to have those loans forgiven.
You probably haven't met any candidates for Tuesday's primary election in person. State Republican Party Chair Kyle Hupfer says the coronavirus is to blame for that.
They're not able to go out and knock on doors, talk to them, go to small events. In-person fundraising was almost non-existent.
He says after the primary, candidates will begin making public appearances again. You've got another update coming up from the WIBC Newsroom. I'm Chris Davis.
The Colts face the Kansas City Chiefs in a classic from last October. Sunday at 1 on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
If somebody gets in your face and calls you a I want you to be nice.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
We absolutely have to have somebody fix these headphones in here next week. I mean, you have to. Jeez. I think it's the outlet here. Yeah, I'm actually talking about stuff you guys don't give a damn about. I apologize, but I'm trying to get this son of a gun to work, man, and it's just jiggling around, and I can't hear anything. I'm keeping my finger on it. This is like back in the day when I used to, on the antenna, the television antenna, I had to put a ding-dong aluminum wrapper on it and stand on one foot. JMV at 1070thefan.com. JMV, you ain't alone. I've been listening every Saturday night. I love it and tell my friends the best. Thank you, John Murphy. Yeah, tomorrow night is going to happen again. It should be outstanding. Skivvies writes this. Game 6, Reds Pirates 90. My dad and I were sitting right near where Glenn Bragg snagged what would have been the Pirates' home run over the wall, man. And if you look back on how all that went down, Paul O'Neill had 8 hits in the series into 6 games. Lou Piniella pulled him back and then sat him down, pinch hit in the bottom half of that inning, the 8th inning. It might have been the 7th. Luis Quinones. And he goes opposite way for a single that put the second run on the board, and that turned out to be the winning run. So if you think about that, and then think when he sat O'Neill down, Glenn Braggs went out there. And I'm not suggesting Paul O'Neill's not a good outfielder. He is. But Glenn Braggs was placed perfectly to go back on that Carmelo Martinez right field oppo drive that he snatched away right at the top of the wall. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. But, yeah, I was watching that again last night. I didn't attend Game 6. I was at Game 1. I was at the game they lost, or one of the 2 that they lost. They lost Game 1. I was in right field. I was so high up at Riverfront Stadium in right field. I think it was like the last row, maybe the second to the last row. I was so high up that I could not, without standing up, I couldn't see Paul O'Neill in right field because of the right field fence. But I was there. I was there in Game 1. And they lost. That was one of the 2 games they had actually lost in that series. They closed out in 6. It was on Fox Sports Ohio last night. And I actually, once I started watching it, I just can't turn away. For one, I love listening to Jack Buck. I know everybody hates Joe Buck. But Jack Buck is absolutely classic, even though he's a Cardinals guy. And I never did mind Tim McCarver. I know a lot of folks didn't. I did like him. I loved when Jim Cott in the World Series came in to do the interviews. That was some classic television for me. But that was last night. All right, 239-1070. You guys ready? I'm going to make sure I give you all 11 minutes and 40 seconds coming up of Anything Goes. 239-1070. Don't really care what it's about, but it's your opportunity to get anything and everything off your chest. All right? Anything goes conversationally. 239-1070. You guys have waited all week, and in this case, you've waited since last week because I promised it last week and I ran out of time. Anything goes. 239-1070. And we're not even going to check you in. Kyle just puts you on hold, and we roll with it. 239-1070. Anything goes with you. Other side. Next.
Hey, it's JMV. We're brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Look, there's a reason FanDuel is America's #1 sports betting app. They've got all the odds on all the biggest sports, and they make it simple and intuitive to place your bets. And at FanDuel, they believe that beating the spread is hard enough. So unlike other sports books, FanDuel doesn't make you jump through hoops when you want to withdraw your winnings. If you haven't tried FanDuel Sportsbook yet, then now's your chance because sports are finally starting to come back online. Right now, FanDuel is taking bets on upcoming UFC fights, soccer matches, NASCAR races, even NBA and NHL championships. And if you're new to FanDuel Sportsbook, you can even place your first bet risk-free. Seriously, just any bet and get up to $500 back if you do not win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app, sign up with my promo code JMV. That's my promo code JMV. 21 plus, President, Indiana. First real money wager only. Refund issue with non-withdrawable site credit that expires 14 days. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
This corona culture we're living in is just another example of how life can throw some unexpected challenges at you. This is Dan Dockich. When you're faced with difficult times, it's always comforting to have a professional on your side who actually cares about you as a person. If you or someone you know experienced an accident as a driver, passenger, rider, or pedestrian, keep in mind what my guy, Randy Sevenish and Sevenish Law recommends during these challenging financial times. Do not try to negotiate with the insurance company yourself, thinking you are saving money, and be wary of discount lawyers. A quick payday may not be best for you. Do not leave money on the table. It's your money. Even though some courts are closed right now, Randy is still here for you. He's able to meet with you and still take the next negotiation steps for resolution. Do not hesitate to take on the insurance giants during these tough times. Call Sevenish Law, the fierce protectors of the injured, where you're treated like a person, not just a case number. 317-636-7777 and SevenishLaw.com.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the reopening of our local economy with our most amazing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with no money down on anything and everything. Yes! Now, for a limited time, Diamonds Direct is doing our part to help you get back to normal and celebrate your love like never before. Our prices and values are the best ever. Our showcases are fully stocked, and we're letting you buy now with nothing down, and you can spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest. Been putting off that engagement? Get her a $6,000 designer ring now and pay just $100 a month. Did you miss celebrating that anniversary? How about a $3,000 Diamond Eternity Band for just $50 a month? Summer is the season for love, and we're doing all we can to make this summer one to remember with exceptional values, extra selection, and the most exceptional finance opportunity. 5 years, 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Keystone at the Crossing.
Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's. 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 Puccini's Pizza, Pasta, Puccini's.
We're all facing challenging times. With so much uncertainty, the team at Bill Estes Chevrolet is here for you. The service department is offering a disinfecting service for your vehicles. If you're looking to trade in your ride and purchase something new, get no payments for 120 days plus 0% interest for 84 months. Visit BillEstesChevy.com and purchase your new vehicle from your couch. Their online tools make it easy to value your trade and apply for financing. Visit BillEstesChevy.com. The team thanks you for your confidence.
Denny Smith from my friends at Sundown Gardens. They're having a container tree sale through the end of May. Right now, Sundown Gardens is adding to their vast selection of container trees. They have many beautiful shade trees in stock. 20% off all container trees. That's 20% off all container trees through May 31st. Don't forget Sundown's colorful inventory of annuals, perennials, and hanging baskets. Sundown Gardens, over 70 years in business, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, just west of Grand Park. SundownGardens.com.
This is Indy Sports Center. WFNI, WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
Hey, we hope you're enjoying your weekend. Don't worry if you miss anything because you were playing golf or swimming or grilling out. We've got you covered on the Fan Morning Show starting at 7 here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
The Ride with JMV.
We'll do it live. It. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. The thing sucks.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
That sounds like a little anything goes right there. Kyle's over there. I'm John, Bob Lovell, Mike Wells, Pat Sullivan, podcast, 1075thefan.com. Anything goes on a Friday to decompress at 239-1070. Let's get this started. By the way, YouTube Live. Hello, YouTube Live. You guys have hung in all week. Great job. Thank you, Toby Northern. We'll catch all you guys coming up tomorrow night as well on the hashtag JMV Takeover. Line 1's Anything Goes at 239-1070. You're on the air. Who's this?
Don't freeze on my ass. I'll make it short and sweet.
Yes.
Tucker Barnhart, we love you, but shut up and take your ass to work. Donk is out.
Donk, you're not yelling at my man, are you? Come on. Donk. BT wanted a donk-free zone. Line 2's Anything Goes at 239-1070. Hello, who's this?
This is Randy from Indianapolis via Waverly, Indiana.
Shout out Waverly. Go ahead.
Yeah, I had a Greene County moment last summer, and I haven't been able to pass this on to you until now, but my wife and I were driving up East Street, and there was a gentleman on one of those motorized scooters, and he had 3 cases of long neck beer sitting on the scooter. And I said to my wife at the time, you know, you don't think he's going to ride that thing. Sure enough, when we got to the corner of South and East Street, he come pulling up, sitting side saddle on that top case. And I just thought, man, that is a Greene County moment.
Wait a minute. Why did you think that's a Greene County moment? That was going on in Marion County.
Well, my dad was from Sullivan, Indiana, and, you know, I spent a lot of time down there during the summer, so, you know, and the way you talk about
yeah, you've been around. I'm sure you've been around Shelburne and Hymera, correct, in your lifetime? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Listen, it's a different world on the other side of the river in GC, brother. I know that for real. Yeah.
All right, sir. You have a good weekend.
All right, thank you. What's a scooter guy riding around with cases of beer? That's GC. Anything goes at 239-1070. You're next. Who's this? Hello. Who dis?
Oh, no. Who's that?
Hey, is this Indiana Jones?
Oh.
What's up?
What's up, my guy?
What do you know?
Oh, man, I'm out here. I actually put on jeans today for the first time since early March, so.
Okay.
That's a new vibe.
I haven't either, so I don't. Listen, it's a much better world when I don't put on jeans. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not sure if I'm ready to go back to regular, you know? I don't think I'm ready.
I know what you mean. What you got for me? Everything going okay with you?
Yeah, man, I'm great. I just wanted to shout you out, man. I just, really appreciate you. And, I don't really have any agenda today. I'm on my way out to get the best vegan food in town, which I'm not a vegan. I don't eat vegan all the time, but when I do, there's a place called the Cul-de-sac on 38th and Midhofer. I'm going to go see them.
I like that.
And it's amazing. They do a walnut burger and a nacho. They make food that like guys like me and you like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
But
right.
like really healthy. So it's a whole different vibe.
That is.
But we've just been streaming live. Find me at DJ Indiana Jones on all your social media platforms, and I know you've been checking into my little radio show, and I've been checking into yours.
No, dude, you're doing a great job. You're doing it noon. You're my noon listen right there, brother. You're doing a great job over there. I don't even know what station. You go ahead and say what station it is. I can't remember the call letters to it. It's just like 100 point something or other, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, 100.9 radio now. Yeah, and actually, that was an original, Emmis property. You know what I mean? Way back in the day, I used to be down there in that little studio doing it. So it's kind of nice to be back doing it, at noon with those guys. You know what I'm saying? So
well, you do a great job, man. You know I'll listen to you whenever I can.
Man, I love your Saturday night thing you guys got going, and I just can't wait for sports to get back. You know what I'm saying? So
right there with you.
It's just, what do you think about this NBA thing? Is that going to be doable?
Yeah, I think it's doable. I'm kind of wondering why, at least what's been reported, that's not going to start until the 31st, was it? July 31st? That seems a little bit later than what I would have liked, but hell, I don't know what they're dealing with. I don't know the guidelines, parameters. I don't know what other than just the fact they're talking about the 31st, which seems a little bit late for me.
Yeah, but what are they doing? Maybe like a month tournament, 6 weeks or something like that? Is that what they're going to try to pop
Yeah,
off?
I think it's been reported they're doing a top 8 in each, and going from there as far as what you hear. Maybe eight games regular season wise to close, and then a top 8 in each league is what I think they're talking about. Yeah.
Well, I would love to see that, and I'll tell you, I could see them doing all kinds of wild stuff with like fake crowds and everything.
Yeah, I'm right there with you on that, man. I am. Hey, call it any time. You're doing a great job on that noon show, though. I love listening to it, man.
I appreciate you, brother. You take care, all right?
That's my man. DJ Indiana Jones does a great job at noon. It's great noon listen right there. It really is. Line 4 is anything goes at 239-1070. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, JMV, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Fellow Center Groveite here.
Sweet.
Originally from southern Indiana, not
Right on.
Greene County, but Jefferson County.
Right on.
But I wanted to give a shout out to CW because I used to work with him at a competitive radio station. What a great guy.
Oh, hell yeah, he is. He's a great dude. You're absolutely right. He's not with me this weekend. I'm telling you what, he knows stuff. He knows stuff that I can't even imagine as far as editing. He is such a I'll take 70+ request calls, and the only reason I get to that number is because of him, because he can run these things back so quick. I mean, otherwise I'm going to be a mess tomorrow night.
Well, the other thing is, he really does like beer, so you can reward him with that.
Yeah, rewarding with beer is exactly what's going to happen. He deserves it. He does a great job. I'm going to miss him tomorrow night like nobody's business.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in a while, and I thought, gosh, you said Chris's name. I said, I'm going to call. I've never called before.
Yep, great dude. Hey, hang out there in Center Grove. Stay safe and healthy, and have a great weekend. Thank you for the call. Yeah, Woldridge does a great job. Anything goes is line number 5. You're on the air. Who's this?
How you doing, JMV?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, this is BT.
BT.
I got to say, man, thank you. I've been with you from week 1 for the takeover. It's been fantastic.
Thank you very much, man. That makes it all worthwhile.
Can we give a shout-out to DJ Skids? That dude
Skids.
has been killing it, man.
He is.
He's been really killing it.
That is Mr. Skids on Twitter. He's putting together what we call mini mixes that go about 5.5 or 6 minutes, and you're absolutely right. He is the best. He is just killing it, no doubt.
But you guys have been great. And now, do you know why I wanted the dog-free zone? Good Lord, man. Holy cow.
Tucker has not texted me for that yet, so yeah, it makes sense. BT, be listening tomorrow night. Be with us.
I'll be there, man.
It's a BT do right there. Anything goes, line 1. You're on the air. Quick, go ahead.
Hey, John. How you doing?
Great, go ahead.
Hey, I just wanted to say kudos to the whole Misc group for doing all the races last week. We didn't have a 500, but I have got to compliment you people for doing a hell of a job.
Thank you.
And listening to Donald last night, that guy is fantastic. Oh, and another shout out. I want to say that the baseball players can't even come together. Are you going to take a pay cut? They don't even know what day this is if you ask them. And here's something I want to tell you before I go. If they don't come together by July 4th.
I know. I got to run here. I'm sorry. I know what you mean, though. I do. The hashtag JMV takeover tomorrow night, B105.7 at 6. Somebody is going to win a Big Green Egg, courtesy of Big Green Egg and Sullivan Hardware and Garden. Kyle, great job. Last word next.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. It's your fire safe response.
Hey, it's Stan Dockich here with my wife, the lovely Lee Ross. Lee, we've had several jobs done at our house by the Misc Corporation. You've dealt with them way more than I did. You know I forget everything. Remind me, what was the scheduled work they did and how'd it go?
They were great to work with. Misc rebuilt a roof over our sunroom and a structure over our 2-story deck so we could sit outside on the lower level even when it's raining. The ladies at the office kept me informed every step of the way, and Misc did everything they said they would on schedule.
Here's what I know. It looks great, and you are happy. And when you are happy, I know it got done right, and oh, by the way, I'm happy.
Bill, Dave, James, Brandon, and the whole crew from Misc did a great job around the Dockich house.
Besides being great general contractors, Misc has experts in waterproofing, foundation repair, mold remediation, indoor air quality, emergency fire and flood restoration, and insurance restoration. Spelled Michaelis, pronounced Misc. Call 844-FIX-INDY or MichelisCorp.com.
Diamonds Direct celebrates the reopening of our local economy with our most amazing offer ever. 5 years, 0 interest financing with no money down on anything and everything. Yes! Now, for a limited time, Diamonds Direct is doing our part to help you get back to normal and celebrate your love like never before. Our prices and values are the best ever. Our showcases are fully